Good evening, ladies and gentlemen. Happy Monday. Welcome to the chat show, Jiminy Flip It Style. I'm your host, Jiminy Flip It. Hope you had a good weekend. Hope the week was good. It's been a long time since we've gotten together a week, as a matter of fact, because I was unable to carry out my Flip It duties on Friday night. I had two shows on Friday, a Beatles show and an oldies show. Not to get too graphic, but it was coupled with the fact that I had a diverticulitis attack. Unfortunately, I have diverticulitis now for the last couple of years. Of course, I got an attack on Thursday night, which is still not completely resolved. For those who have it, you know the pain. For those who don't get it. But there's really nothing you could do other than take antibiotics. As a matter of fact, folks, cheers. What time are we looking at? 7 o'clock. It's time for pill number 2. So this is the live pill-taking portion of the program. These things are horse pills, just so you know. Look at the size of this thing. Anybody have trouble taking pills? Well, then this isn't the one you want. Big guy. Cheers. Oh, egads, it never gets easy. But yeah, that was a lot of fun. The shows were great. It's just the fact that I had this stupid pain made it a little more harrowing than normal, but it was a great time. We had a lot of fun. A very successful launch of my new oldies band. It went well. It was a lot of fun, so it was worth the pain. Hey, Bob, how you doing? Good evening. See the lights. Bob is here to say hi. Hey, Dale Finder, how you doing? Hey, CJ, welcome. Oh, it's okay, man. I'm fine. I've only had, my first one was, I think it's been, my wife and I were talking about this earlier. I think it was 4 years ago was the first attack, which it's apparently hereditary to an extent. My mom had it. My grandfather, her dad, had it for years and years. And I was lucky to make it to my 50s until I got it. But I was just suddenly had like a spiked fever, really, really high, the 4 year ago thing. I had no idea why. Like no other symptoms, no cold. This is all virus nonsense. And so I wound up going to the emergency room because I was like doubled over in pain out of nowhere. They checked everything under the sun and basically just said, you have diverticulitis. I was familiar with it because of the family history. I'm like, oh man. They're like, yep. So they just gave me some dose of medication, in the hospital, set me on my way. I was fine. And in the 4 years, this is only the third attack. The good news now is that I know when it's coming. There's just a unmistakable sensation you get in your belly. And I'm like, oh man, here we go. It was on Thursday. So I fired. Luckily, I can call up a place, got my amoxicillin delivered immediately and just kind of hit it hard immediately. So it never blew up into a fever and all that nonsense, which is like a kind of a numbing, annoying pain. Isn't that a lot of fun? It is called Blast from the Past. See lights. Thanks for asking. It's a brand new venture. We just really started about a month ago. We got 2 rehearsals in and we had a show booked on Friday right after a Beatles show. It was just great timing because very, very, very rarely do we play daytime Beatles shows. This one happened to be 2 o'clock up in a town called Allentown, Pennsylvania. So when the other place, which was a pretty famous venue, I'm not going to mention it yet, but I might mention it eventually. If you look on the website, you'll see what it is. But very famous person's, one of his many properties, we played there in Bedminster, New Jersey, which was like an hour drive east of where we had played the Beatles show. So we basically just, good night, everybody, bump, bowed, hightailed it, ran, broke all the equipment down, got in my Jeep, and another fellow followed me. About an hour ride due east to Bedminster. Luckily, we had 2 members of the band aren't in my Beatle band. They're just guys that play with us in the oldie band. They had all the sound equipment set up and everything. So we were really lucky that we got to just kind of come out of the Jeep, throw on a slightly different outfit. It wasn't a Beatles show after all. It was just an oldie show. And got up there, test 1, 2, ready, 1, 2, 3. And at 6 o'clock, we launched into a 3-hour show outside on the coldest night yet in my area. It was 38 degrees and we're out there like fools singing. They had bonfires and stuff. It was a nice event. It was a very, very nice event, but man, was it cold. Hey, Jeff, welcome to the show. Great to see you. Billy Joel? No. Oh, Billy Joel's place? No. It was in Bedminster, New Jersey. Yeah, it was. I mean, I'll tell you, it wasn't even the playing was a little painful, but I don't mean to whine about it, folks. I just thought I'd bring it up because I knew I had to take my pill at 7 o'clock. I didn't want people thinking, why is he taking amoxicillin? It's definitely winding down now, which is a good thing. And thankfully, like I said, I got the penicillin right away when I had that first tinge of pain on Thursday night. So I never got a fever or anything with this one. It's just kind of a numbing pain. But yeah, I appreciate it, Delphine. It wasn't comfortable. The driving and all that stuff, and the loading and unloading of equipment was a lot worse than the actual playing. Hey, Joe, welcome. Funny you should mention, Joe. Welcome to the show. I did get, do you remember, everybody? I think it was last Monday. I discussed the fact that I had just picked up a lot. Was it that day? I don't remember if it was that day. Might have been, or the Sunday before. I picked up a lot of just mixed postcards on eBay. Took a stab at it, 500. They arrived today. There was a 4-day delay. Nothing to do with the seller. He shipped it promptly. It was sent priority mail. Just, you follow the tracking thing. Your package is running late. The weekend came. So it should have been delivered on the 13th. It came today. No harm, no foul. So I got 500 there. And kind of as promised on Popeye's postcards, whatnot last Tuesday, I did become an honorary member of the Tub Club. For those who don't know what the Tub Club is, I'll actually show this off. Hang on one second. If you are nutty enough to pick up a bunch of postcards on John's Whatnot shows, I don't know what the threshold is. I think you need to get like 500-ish, 480, 500. That's what I got. And he ships it in a tub, an actual tub. And there's some of the postcards. I've listed, I don't know, 100 of them, maybe from the 500. I got his before I got the 500, but still going through them. It's fantastic selection of stuff. These are all New Jersey, state of New Jersey postcards. I did see, if any of you guys are watching Jackass Retro show this morning, well, I know a lot of people that watch his shipping show in the morning, and a few people were discussing that I think it was Steve had mentioned, Memphis Blazer, that he just sold a jersey, like a beach town postcard for some good money. I have a bunch of them in this collection, and I listed some over the weekend. So really pumped up. So now, all of a sudden, from nothing, I was whining last week about having nothing. I have close to 1,000, I guess now, new ones to play with. Really good stuff. I listed... I had vowed to list 100 yesterday. I didn't quite make it. I think I got like 75 or something done yesterday. I got about 25 done today. So when all the smoke clears, I'll go from, I keep saying it's a week. It's a lot longer than a week. Now we're talking about a month or so since I started listing the postcards. Probably a solid month. I'm going to have close to 1,000 listings once I get this tub finished. And I really will do it. I'm not going to sit on them. I don't just want to have a collection of tubs. No offense. I want to have a collection of tubs that are already listed. So good stuff. Thanks for the question, Joe. I'm pumped up. Now I have, for me, it's a lot. It's like quadrupled my supply here. Oh, you got to love it, Deal Finder. Absolutely. Not one, but two. I got the tub from John, and I got the 500 from the anonymous seller on eBay. No, it wasn't anonymous. It was just one of those, it said 500 plus. I was talking with Kelly earlier on Instagram, and he had said, make sure you count these things when you get these lots from people. I did. It was 509 cards, and it was billed as 500 plus. So 509 is more than 500. I'm really happy. And again, he shipped it fine. It had nothing to do with him. It just, the mail service was slow for some stupid reason and took 4 extra days to get here. But now I'm set. I have, excuse me again. Sorry, guys. I've got to keep drinking because of the stupid pill. About 1,000 cards to play with, new ones. In addition to the 400 something that I had listed. I think I have over 500. I definitely probably have over 500 listed now. Let me check that. Let's give you the tallies. I also had promised myself that now we're talking 2 weeks, right? Today is the 17th. Halloween is in 2 weeks. I wanted to get to 4,000 listings. I'm at 3514, but I have, I should be at closer to 5,000 if I list all these in the next 2 weeks, but we'll see. Let me see how many postcard listings we have in the books right now officially. It should be over 500 at this point, which for me is pretty cool. And the number is, anybody remember the Jerry Lewis telethon? The tab board, 537. 537 cards currently listed on eBay. So good stuff. And away we go. Like I said last week. Hey, Kelly. I got Popeyes before I got the one that I got on eBay that I told you about earlier that just came in today that was supposed to be on the 13th. I got Popeyes on Saturday, which was really cool because I was licking my wounds after the Friday double show thing, and there was Popeyes cards. It was really cool. So I've already started listing his. I'd all have them all categorized. All New Jersey, state of New Jersey. I did, man. I did. Thank you. I did. I got a tub. I was pretty psyched. I mean, it was a little short of a tub, but he threw in, which is, I'm just gonna tell everybody because he's such a good guy. But he always like gives you a little. Doesn't always, but I guess if you buy a few times, he throws in some extras. So to make the tub nice and snug, he gave me like 2 packs of those, the clear plastic bags that you put the cards in. So I got a tub. I got a solid tub. It's good stuff. But yeah, it was a lot of fun. Oh man. Yeah, that's, if you've watched me for any period of time, especially the last, probably since mid-September, I've been postcard nuts. Big fan. And they do sell, man. Again, Kelly, I want to give him credit because he's one to always kind of give out numbers and projections and percentages. He's big on all that stuff. I love that stuff too. And he had told me, correct me if I'm wrong again, Kelly, but the rate was something like 2.5 to 3 or 4% of the cards he lists, he sells intraday. Like if he lists over 100, let's say. So anyway, it was, what's today? Monday? I think it was Saturday. I had listed about 100 that day from the Popeye lot because I was so pumped up. And I did. I sold 2 cards that day that I had listed that day. So there's 2%, And I'm sure I could get that number up. But that's incredibly encouraging, when you could put stuff up and sell it the same day. Really, really good. And now that I have this extra lot, which has no consistency, it's just a sorted mix. It was billed as no chromes. And again, no offense to anybody who likes chromes, but I thought that was appealing for me. They were all linen and Prior. Good stuff, total hodgepodge, no consistency, just a ton of cards. There were a few actual RPPCs, which I haven't had many of yet. Nothing exciting, but still. So yeah, Deal Founder, you got to get up on the postcard horse again. Hey, Kim. There you go. Yeah. There's nothing wrong with that. Sticking to one thing and just kind of plowing away at it. I want everybody to know I haven't neglected my print ads. I still have my print ads, and I did list some print ads in between, especially during this long, hard week where I was postcardless from last Monday till Saturday. But that's awesome, Kim. Congratulations on that pickup. And yeah, get them up. Hey, Steve, how you doing? You do better with chromes than you do linens. Yeah, well, that's so true. Exactly. It depends on the topic. That's very true. I don't mean to speak with such a broad brush. Again, personal preference. I love linens. I don't know what it is. I like the consistency of them. I like the imagery. I like the time period that linens were popular in. So that's just my thing. But it's so true. I mean, I think we were on the show last week, right? When I sold the Jersey, what was it, Wildwood or something, the hotel. That was a chrome card. So I'm not anti-chrome cards, that's for sure. I just like the old style stuff. Yeah, no problem at all, Kim. Hey, Richard, how you doing? New to your channel, started watching over the weekend, really enjoy content. Thanks. Well, thank you very much for joining. Great to have you on the live show. This is the chat show, quote unquote. We have 2 shows a week, usually, except last week. And Monday is the chat format, which is really just us hanging out and talking. In recent month or so, it's been mostly about postcards. But again, I'm still a big print ad guy. I love the print ads. Have nothing against them whatsoever. I'm really enamored by the postcard thing. And then on Friday nights, we try to do listing shows. And they have been almost exclusively print ad listing shows. So if you enjoy that content about the print ads, then be sure to stop in. I will be on Friday. I have nothing else going on. And we will list Friday because we've done enough chatting the last couple of weeks. Let's do some listing. But great to have you, Richard. Thanks so much. Yes. Again, the greatest writing font right there, the Zeppelin. The exact brandage would be, yeah, it's a Kelly's already writing it. Thank you. Kelly already filled it in for me. Yeah, Plus Tech A3 it's called. Really nice, huge form factor. You could fit virtually anything. They were designed for blueprints. Well, I don't know if they were designed for blueprints, but that's what I searched for because it took me forever to find this thing. And that's the one that came up when I had said something, to essentially fit something that large. But yeah, check out Kelly's comment, which I'll put right up. You enjoy the linens too? Yeah. I won't enjoy them if they don't sell. I'm just talking from a aesthetic point of view, from my own, just what I like to look at. That's all. But yeah, if they don't sell, I'll get sick of them really quick. There you go, Emporium. Yep. No problem at all. I'm pretty sure there's a link. I mean, you could just copy and paste what Kelly wrote into Amazon. I'm sure it'll pull it up. But I'm pretty sure some of my videos have the link for the scanner if you want to look, Emporium. Probably within the playlist of my the print ad series. It would probably, I think I have one entitled processing or something, which is involving the scanning and all that. And I'm pretty sure that video has a direct link if you need it. Steve asks, has anyone ever sold 1930 era vintage products like ointments, creams, and quack medicine? I got a bunch off Whatnot. Wow. Great question. Safe to say they're all expired at this point, which may raise a red. You're talking about actual products, right? Not ads or anything. I'll tell you what model I'm using, I think. Let's see. I am using, doesn't say on the icon, it says Dock Action Plus Tech Optic Slim A3 series. Either way, I mean, yeah, they're not cheap, that's for sure. But as I always mention when people ask about this equipment, none of it is cheap, but I'm sure there's ways around that. You could get used or secondhand or however you want to term it. But I'm just a fan of, if I'm going to use equipment within reason, I usually try to get my own new stuff. And I only do that once I'm making enough money to justify a purchase like that, to enhance my processing time and all that. It, like, thank God I have the ES400, the not flatbed, my wife yelling upstairs. Hold on. Did you guys hear that? That means she's going to be walking down the stairs any minute. The duplex scanner, the Epson. I've had that for a while, and I was using it when I first bought it. It wasn't for postcards at all, because I wasn't into postcards. It was for the certain form factor magazines that were 8.5 by 11. I was able to sneak them in this thing, which was a huge time saver. But then the more Life magazines I got involved with, that's when I began my quest to get this larger bed, which wound up being the Plus Tech that Kelly alludes to. You thought they were all empty, but almost all have still product. Holy cow. Yeah, I mean, just from a safety perspective, Steve, I would think that's probably not the best thing to... I don't know, but I don't know if there's rules around that. I'm sure there are. There's rules for everything, right? Perfect time for a business expense. Yeah, it's exactly. It's most definitely a business expense. But if you're in a certain niche for good, or you see a good career in that, and you're going to make a lot of money, then you can justify it as a business expense, like Kelly says. And again, it's going to enhance. You're going to save a lot of time and get more product up, so you'll recoup that money sooner than later. But again, I wouldn't recommend, if somebody's watching, never did a print ad in their life, or a postcard for that matter, like me a month ago, and that's I'm going to dive in. I'm going to buy, $20,000 worth of postcards. I'm going to buy $10,000 worth of equipment. Me personally, unless you have disposable income like that, then God bless you. But I wouldn't dive in head first like that from that perspective. I want to dive in and get some product, sure, but I already have, the tools I needed for the other stuff that I've been listing, and it just so happens that it works really well for postcards. But generally, like I was going to say, if you're just starting out in postcards or print ads, I wouldn't personally go out and buy $300-400 scanners, willy-nilly, until I saw some return and said, okay, yeah, I could justify this now. I'm making good money every month, and it's something that I can see forecast ahead, and it's going to continue to bring good profits my way. So yeah, what the heck, I'll buy this thing. Kelly is, Steve says, I'm covered in business expenses from the former receipts. Yeah. Can't wait to see what the tax man wants next year, next April, huh? You don't claim your expenses until the item sells. You don't understand. Are we getting into bookkeeping squabbles here? I'll have you know, I went to school for accounting. Didn't become an accountant, but I went to school for accounting. Here she comes, everybody. Bright-eyed and bushy-tailed.
Just like a squirrel.
Just like a squirrel.
What's up?
Good evening, Mrs. Cricket. Just flip it. Flip it.
Flip it. Mrs. Cricket.
Freudian slip. Just flip it.
What am I, Jiminy? Jiminy. Is Dawn there?
Dawn is not here. She's probably sleeping.
Oh.
I'm sure she'll be here shortly, though.
Is Winter Crow in?
Winter Crow is still AWOL.
Still AWOL.
Yes, but I'm sure she will be back.
All right. Oh, thank you for putting my ice upstairs. You're the best.
Okay, sorry, I think I just repeated a series of comments already written. I've decided which way to claim them. It's my first year in dealing with it. Yeah, it's going to be an interesting situation next year, for sure. Which is rapidly, I mean, January is only, what, 3 months now? It's crazy. Get those tax forms in. So how's everybody else doing? I did one of those short videos, which for some reason didn't go in as a short, which is driving me nuts. I'm trying to figure out how to get that little squiggle, which I thought was just a squiggle, but apparently it's an S for the short video thing. I don't know how to get that into my video. But anyway, I did a quick one because I had just sold it was very early on Sunday morning, and I had just sold one of those smaller ads, an old 1905 car ad for $20 or so. So I did a quick video saying, don't let the size of the print ad, make you think that they're not valuable. They certainly are. But as Steve alluded to earlier with the linens versus chromes versus whatever, it's true. It all comes down to the content contained. It's not the form factor. But it was good to know. I just wanted to show everybody that, yeah, the small ones sell really well too. So that was exciting. So hopefully everybody's had a decent weekend on the sales front. I did run a weekend sale on the ads. I sold that one. I sold some other ones. I'm pretty sure. You know what? It's funny. As I'm saying this to everybody else, I don't remember if I checked to see if it ended. I don't remember if I ended it tonight or last night. It's that attention to detail. Let me see. Did I end it? Yeah, I did. It ended at midnight. So we'll see. I got, a little bit of interest. That's cool. Some sales, as is always the case, it seems, at least with my business and what I've been doing, when I run sales, usually the majority of, or the biggest benefit I usually get is just I get a bunch of new watchers. And who's to say, again, if a watcher is just a competitor, I don't know, whatever. But at least it gives you the opportunity to send out offers. I just hate the fact that I have to try to, not that I have to, but that I choose to put them on sale, and then I'm going to further discount it with the offer to watcher. But there's also an old trick which has been employed by many a person, whereby, let's say you were about to run a sale effective, 10 o'clock tonight, right? You wanted to run it for the rest of the week. In advance of running the sale, you could jack up the price. Let's say you were going to, just for my thing of the print ads, let's say I had 3,000 print ads, and I wanted to put them all on sale for 30% effective tonight, 10 o'clock till Friday. You could, in advance, go and do a bulk edit and increase the price by 10%, right? Let that run through, then run your 30% off sale. So really, they're only 20% off. But the people that are new to the listing and see it, they're going to think they're getting the 30%. So all the little games that they play, people play. Stores do that all the time. They jack prices up, retail stores, and then put a big red sticker on stuff, 50% off, everything must go. Same concept. Because then you get a double bang when you raise it, but when you do a bulk edit of pricing or any of those key components of your listing, supposedly that gives you a change or something, and it impacts your listing in a beneficial way. So you get that from the price increase, and then you get the benefit of the sale. So see what happens. Is anybody else waiting on some big lots of material to come in that they may have picked up at either a whatnot or state sale or online auction? Anything exciting like that? Kelly, running a sale to move old inventory, remove the best offers. You remove the best offers, yeah. That's the way to get around what I was just saying. Yeah, exactly. I know. Yes, that frustrates me too. That's the thing with sales for me. I just seem to get a huge influx of watchers, which is a good thing. And very few not very few, but if I put 3,000 items up for sale over a 72-hour period, let's just say, and I'm just making these numbers up, but even if I sell 5% of them, what is that, 60 ads at full price, I won't sell 5%. I might get an uptick of 10 or 15% more watches. But then again, like Kelly's saying, the way he gets around having to give that additional discount, he takes it off best offer. And I don't know if that winds up, you shoot yourself in the foot with that approach either, because there's a lot of people out there that don't want to see just buy it now. So who knows? It's the endless game that we all play, trying to figure this stuff out. 3 Facebook purchases coming in this week. Oh, cool. You're all caught up on one. Are you really? Very good. Very, very, very good. I know you were plowing through some older inventory that you picked up over the summer, right? You're still going through? Postcard wise. What else did I want? I wanted to mention something else. I'll try to refresh my memory with this. The new listing tool is definitely here to stay. I'm not going to complain about it. It's already been done 100 times. I think we're pretty much all in the same boat now. And honestly, now that I've used it a few times, it's like anything else. When it's new, it seems like, oh man. And now it's like, it's fine. It's the same thing. The only thing I personally don't like is that whole linear, however you want to describe it, straight up and down thing. You just have to do a lot more scrolling on the desktop than you did in the old format. But other than that, it's fine. And it is true, at least in this short time period, doing things like I've been doing forever, like the ending and sell similar, or the bulk edits and stuff. I'm seeing a lot less of those errors that we used to all get with some frequency, right? It's not you, it's us nonsense. That's definitely all but gone. At least the activity I've done the last week or two since I was pushed into this new listing tool. It seems like they've, as soon as I say it, I'm sure it'll screw up, but it seems like they've really done a really good job with trying to mitigate that kind of stuff. So kudos to eBay, when deserved. I don't know if any guys have any different stories, but that's been my experience with the stuff I do daily or weekly. Just general tinkering. I don't see any of those errors recently, so that's a very good thing. Steve got proof in the mail. A member of Popeye's Top Club on Saturday. So one of the Top Club members meeting, and what should I bring? Yeah. How about a cheese tray? I'll take cheese. Yeah, I'm pumped up. Now a member. Got my pink tub. Not there's anything wrong with that. Yeah, no, the listing is a whole different animal. But you have them neatly put into a place where you will be able to access them when called upon, when they're ready to get listed. I'm sure you do. CJ says, a little late. Today's video is 1 minute and 1 second long. Do shorts need to be under a minute? The one that I did? You mean? That's a good question. I don't know. I just read the basic thing, and it said like you just put the hashtag thing with shorts in it, and I have a shorts. When you set up a YouTube channel, for those of you who have YouTube channels, there's a section where you could put in like you can build your channel, and you could have like what I have, right? You could create playlists. That's the term, playlists. And one of them was like a shorts category, which was embedded automatically. And I put that video in the shorts playlist, and it still doesn't have that little squiggle. Maybe CJ's right. Maybe it's the time thing. Spinach dip. There you go. That's a good idea for Popeye, right? Yes. Yeah, the video. Yeah, maybe that's it. Maybe it's a tad too long. I doubt it, but I guess that's possible. How silly if that's all it is. So you think I'm just over by a couple seconds? Interesting. I thought I did too. I thought I Googled it as well. I guess I didn't with that piece. But thanks. If that's the only issue, not that it's an issue, it's just that you can, I'm sure you guys all follow a series of other resellers, right? So I'm always looking at my subscriptions and stuff, and hardly a day goes by nowadays where you don't see one of those quick videos, and they all have that little red thing, and it's definitely an eye-catching thing. If you're looking at a board with 100 videos going by in your subscriptions, they stand out. I guess that was the purpose of it, to make them stand out. So I'll get the knack eventually. I hope. Kelly came across one of your cards today, comping Rhode Island undivided back. I usually went $1 higher than you. Wow, did you really? Yeah, I would imagine being up there in Maine. This 500 miscellaneous lot that I had, it's truly miscellaneous. It's got a bunch of greeting cards, which is personally not my thing yet. But again, all it'll take is a nice sale for one, I'll be a big fan. But not lots, but a decent amount of the holiday kind of cards and greetings. Just about every state in the union. That was kind of cool. Like there was a handful of almost not every state, but a good portion. Because it's true, most of the stuff, like I have a dedicated New Jersey lot that I just picked up. I do happen to have a lot from New England, Massachusetts specifically, tons of Pennsylvania. I'm sure this is common amongst postcard people. They probably see the same things. Maybe that's the quantity that they made many more in those states. Washington, D.C., places like that. So it was pretty cool. And this new one that I picked up, like I had Nebraska, I had Minnesota, I had some states that I haven't had previously. Very cool. CJ with the copy and paste. Great idea. 60 seconds. Short's going to be. Yeah, I even did the vertical video format on purpose. I just went like this with my phone up to my my computer monitor to show the eBay screen. Maybe you're right. Maybe it was just, is it 61 seconds? That's crazy. Well, now I know. You know what? I'll just do like a 30-second one next time. Say, hi, everybody, and then post it and see if it works. Grant representing the great country of Canada. Welcome aboard. How are you doing? Good to see you, sir. Speaking of Canada, Dawn Wright clearly out cold. I'm sure she'll be joining us at some point. We were speaking earlier in the day as usual. Great girl is Dawn. Oh, shameless plug time. It's not really a shameless plug. This is for everybody involved. We do have another Ephemerama coming up. Ephemerama 3 is coming up already. Let me pull up my handy dandy banner so we can show that guy off. I did post on Instagram earlier today. We have the roster is filled already for the November 12th extravaganza. So it's almost a month away, a little less than a month now. Let's fire that up. I'll show everybody. If anyone's interested in attending, it's a lot of fun. These events are really good. Great idea. They changed some of the settings within the StreamYard, which is the tool I use to broadcast. They just changed some of the names, which is kind of wild. Now it says present. Present, share screen. There it is, everybody. Bam. Whatnot. There's the cast of characters for this one. So good old Ben leading off things as usual. Good old Popeye closing things out as usual. You got Picker John at 6. You got Bastiques, who was part of Paperpalooza and was a guest on my show. Primetime Treasure Hunter will be coming in this one. Dominic, 8 o'clock. I'm at 9. And again, Popeye closing out at 10. So there's your roster of all-star Ephemerama guys and gals. I think it is all guys this time. Coming at you November 12th. There's all the details. Starting at 5. Ending at, well, not ending at 10. The last show ends at 10. Starts at 10, excuse me. And Ben and John both do like a little pre-show thing. It's kind of fun. If you guys haven't seen one before, it's a lot of fun. They got to get you prepped up for the roster coming up and what's on tap. To give you a little preview of what's going on and what's coming up for sale. I did put up my auction for that time. So please, if you are a follower, if you're not a follower, please follow me over on Whatnots. Jiminy Flip It, just like it is on YouTube. And it'll be 8 o'clock. Again, my time is 9 o'clock, but my show is up there, so you can bookmark it if you're in Whatnot. Just search. You could also just search that term up there, that crazy term, Ephemerama. Again, you can't search it on a desktop for some silly reason, but if you go on your phone, go into Whatnot and type Ephemerama, you'll see these 5 shows pop up. Is it 5 or 6? 6 shows. So anyway, good times ahead. We'll be talking more about this as we get closer, but it's as you see right at the bottom. I was going to say it, but second Saturday every month. That's what we've been doing. A lot of fun. I can't wait. Hope to see you all there shortly. About 3.5 weeks or so. Picnic says Ephemerama 3. Not just Ephemerama 3 Picnic. Will I have some postcards? No. No. Not until I have tens and hundreds of thousands of them. I'm buying postcards, not selling them. But yeah, that should be a lot of fun. Look forward to it. and all great people involved as always. But in this one, I think I know everybody on that one finally. No, everybody. Okay.
It's packaging.
Oh, thank you.
Look how good I am to him. I give him packaging. It's tissue paper.
Tissue paper is now packaging.
Well, it's hard tissue paper.
No, it is. That can actually be very handy. Thank you.
See?
Thank you. Thank you.
Don't say I never gave you anything.
Mm-hmm.
Merry Christmas.
She wants to be a star, folks. She wants to be a star. Hey, Richard. Is Ephemera a live online auction? It is, yes, and it's an event. It's 6 shows. It looks like it's over on Whatnot. So if you're familiar with Whatnot, just go in and search Ephemerama, and you'll see all the shows. I think usually we all have them set up already, and you can bookmark the show. And it's just a series. If you look at that, let me pull it up one more time as I'm talking about it. Why not? So here you go, Richard. Right, it's from 5 until 10, and it's just everybody gets an hour slot. Ben, his New Provisions, kicks it off at 5. There's a pre-show at like 4:30 with Popeye and Ben, New Provisions. And then the festivities begin. And it's usually, I don't know if we're going to get a new banner that says what we're selling, but if you check out the individual auctions, you'll see what people intend to bring to the table. Clearly, it's going to be ephemera, paper products, cool stuff. I will be doing print ads because that's what I do. Popeye will be doing postcards because that's what he does. Bastique's has a little bit of everything. At least he and his wife were in the first Paper Palooza about a month, probably over a month now, 2 months ago. When was that? August? So you'll see as we get closer, like kind of what's going to be featured in each auction. But yeah, everybody gets an hour time slot, and we kind of pass the baton on to the next show. So what's great about it is you get the power sort of the group effort, whereas like Ben kicks it off. So let's say Ben has 50 people in his auction. He's going to say, all right, it's very much like television, right? Coming up at 6, don't miss the new episode of Chips or whatever, right? So he'll hand it off to Picker John, who hopefully will get those 50 people, follow from Ben right to John, and then hopefully bring his own people in. And then same thing, then he passes the baton on to Bastique's, and so on, so that we all kind of benefit from that group, the power of the group. And it's a lot of fun, and it's all ephemera driven. So if you're into ephemera, it's the place to be. Excuse me, Richard. I don't know. Are you on Whatnot? If you're not familiar with Whatnot, we could talk about that. Yeah, man. And I was invited to the last one, and I think I told everybody the reason I couldn't do that one. It was the last minute, which I don't like to do. But I was in the studio rehearsing for this show that we had Friday night. I wound up being in the studio for like 9 hours, and I wasn't able to get home in time to kick off. But anyway, that was rectified, and now I will be back here on the 12th of November. So that should be a lot of fun. It's really a nice opportunity, one-stop shop sort of a thing. You got like 6 straight hours of all ephemera stuff. Great paper products, great postcards, and print ads, and all kind of stuff that the people, at least most of the people that come in here, really enjoy, including me. Oh, you're not familiar with Whatnot? Oh, yeah, no problem. If you, Richard, if you click, it always comes down to if you click, but it's true. If you go right below this video, as a matter of fact, let me make sure. I have a link to Whatnot. If you click on the link and you sign up, there's no cost to join. It's it's an online auction, essentially. It's very popular now. And a lot of the people in this room are familiar with it, and many of us already have ephemera, like a channel over on Whatnot. But if you click, you'll see it says follow me on Whatnot here right below this video in the description. And there's a little $10. I really recommend, if you're new to it, take advantage of this, because I did when I joined, and I'm sure most of us do. We kind of pass this on. You get an instant $10 credit in your account that you could use. And when I say instant, it is instant. So you set up your little account. You could just say Richard Johnson. You sign up. You go into, there's an app version of the phone that you could also access on the desktop, which is what I do. It's really fun. And there's sellers of every ilk across the planet on this thing. It's not just ephemera. But this event that's coming up, Ephemerama 3, is all ephemera. It's all a lot of the same people that have been part of this thing for the last couple of months. We're all like a really strong community. And it's a very reputable group of sellers. You're vetted to an extent to participate in any of these events, and with good reason. You don't want any clowns in there. So it's all good people. And if you're into this kind of stuff, like the print ads or the postcards or the trade cards or anything like that, old paper in general, Hopefully you'll be a big fan. So definitely click that, Richard, that link down there. It's the second one. You can follow me. It says use the Jiminy Flip It. And then below that, grab that invite. Get yourself $10. You'd be surprised how much damage you could do with $10 in a good way. You could buy a lot of things in these auctions with $10. Get yourself rolling. Why chips came out of my mouth. I don't even think I ever watched that either, but I hate television. I never watch TV. But yeah, good point, Bob. Thank you. Oh yeah, there's a cost. Yeah, well, that's a different thing. There's no membership fee. There's no onboarding cost. But yeah, definitely a warning is that it can become incredibly addictive to people with that penchant to be suckered into things, and you can't resist the temptation. And what's that term that everybody uses now with the FOMO or whatever, the fear of missing out kind of thing? Yeah, you get into it. You definitely get into it. I mean, in my case, again, because I'm trying to accumulate a nice collection of postcards, I know the people that are in there. I trust them, so I feel very comfortable buying from them. And you keep going back. And that's a great way to get a nice collection started. I don't know if you're into postcards at all, but that's been the new thing the last month or so on this channel. We've been talking postcards. Kelly says it's very addicting. Yeah, exactly. Exactly. Yeah. And part of that, it's an intervention. It's also like a group therapy situation because you'll see many of the same cast of characters in multiple different shows, same kind of cluster of people bouncing around from show to show. Hey, Steve again. Hey, Kelly again. Hey, what are you doing? I'm just looking. And all of a sudden, Kelly won. Kelly won. It's very addicting. No doubt about it. No problem. Cool. Yeah, use that link. Get yourself a $10. Thanks, Richard. Play around with it a little bit. Once you get in, it's a pretty easy interface to navigate. It really is. It's simple. You'll see. I don't know what they present you with initially anymore. I forgot, but you can search and look for ephemera, look for whatever you're into. There's a estate sale category. A lot of people sell comic books. A lot of people sell toys. A lot of people sell video games. It really depends on what you're into. Just search around and ye shall find. Steve is, we joke about our girl Dawn up in the Great White North being omnipresent. Truth be told, I know he doesn't want to talk about it much, but Mr. Memphis Blazer is extremely what supersedes omnipresent? Ever present? He's everywhere. Hey, Treasure Maze, how you doing? Yeah, very good point. Instantaneously, whatever payment method you have on file will be debited instantaneously. That's fine with me. Steve is good people. It's not just Steve. Let's be honest. There's a handful, more than a handful of people in here right now, including yours truly, that bounce around to multiple shows. A lot of the same shows. It's a community. It's a lot of fun. It's therapeutic. It's anecdotal. It's educational. It's cathartic. What other SAT words can I use here? But it's true. Yeah, that's all right. Got a question for you, Steve. What's your favorite category? Like, what is your favorite thing? If you could just sell nothing but one thing, what would it be? Like, are you primarily a postcard guy? Are you primarily something else? I think I asked you that because you seem to bounce around and be interested in a lot of different things. What's your absolute passion when it comes to reselling? Do you have one? We'll have Steve on as a guest one show. Ever-present Steve. Yeah, that's all. Speaking of hitting buttons, everybody, look at that Segway picnic. See that little thumbs up down there? I'd really appreciate it if you had a second to just go boop. They tell me it helps the videos. It helps me feel better too. So if you care at all, hit that thumbs up, will you? Thank you. Postcard. Okay, yeah, postcard primary. Okay, cool. Yeah, right, because you're always in, I know you're in mine all the time, and I've seen you around in a bunch of them. That's cool. But you're a postcard guy. That's like your thing. That's what got you into this. Cool. So I'm extremely late to the postcard thing. It's my new one. And I know it sounds silly. It's true, because there's many a video out there about, like, if you're getting into YouTube, if you're getting into eBay or reselling in general, and you like antiques and paper and all that stuff, one of the easiest, simplest, most popular thing is postcards. Everybody talks about them. I don't know why I just never took the time to get into them. But once I saw that video series that John had, Popeye, Postcards 101, I was like, man, this is really interesting. And now I'm an addict. If Steve came on, yeah, probably get 1,000 subscribers in 1 minute. No, it'd be interesting. I'd like to have all you guys on. Anybody who's open. We used to have guests on all the time on the chat shows. I enjoy having people on. So if anybody has any interest, let me know. Shoot me an email at jiminyflipit@gmail.com. If you're interested in an interview, I'd be happy to have anybody on within reason. Steve brings the eyeballs. You selling it?
Good.
We've tried. It's never.
Persistence.
As long as anything is small and chips. Yeah. False teeth. Hearing aids. So you're a big fan of easy to ship, cheap to ship kind of chip. That's true. You could lose some of your legend. I agree with that concept. But in all serious, folks, if anybody is interested, we've had, look back in the annals of the, I guess we're at like 8 or 9 months of Jiminy Flip It material at this point. So go back, you'll see we did plenty of interviews. We're going to have, well, I already mentioned a while ago, we were going to have a Rural Squirrel on, who's making a name for herself, helps herself now because she's, she's always had a name for herself, but she does that weekly show now with the other 3 ladies. And she is a Rural Squirrel. She's always out there traveling, and she does really fun videos. And she's met tons of people. She's been to all these cons, or whatever you call them, with all these eBay con, whatever it's called, resell con. So the only reason I haven't had her on yet, she should have been on about 2 months ago, is because my buddy is still not back yet. Travis Griffin. We'll be back. We were talking over the weekend, actually. So when he comes back, we're definitely going to have her on as a guest. Tracy, 1987 Ventures, has been on twice, and once with her mom, so we definitely want to have her back. She's finishing up this shed finally she's been working on for a year. Hey, Cameron, how you doing? Happy Monday. Cameron does shows on Sunday night. Is that right, Cameron? The Hangout show? Yes, he's not. Exactly. Yeah, Richard is new. Richard Johnson here. Welcome, everybody. Welcome, Richard Johnson, to the group. New to Whatnot as well. So you'll get to know all these people really well the more you come in here, Richard. And Cameron's one of the guys, and certainly Mr. Memphis Blazer, the legend. There's a few of us. You'll see the same people kind of in these chats, and you'll see a lot of the same people in Whatnot. So it's friendly places. But yeah, absolute caveat about the addictive quality of Whatnot. There's no doubt about it. They prey on it too, I think. Because it's an auction. It's not gambling, but it's like that, and you get that the competitive juices come out in people. As a seller, that's what you want. You want people to bid things up. But you definitely need to show some level of, I know, what did we say last time? A pause button, and everybody was ripping on me. You have to show some level of control and be able to say no at times. I know it's difficult, trust me. But on the good side of it, if you're into reselling and you're into ephemera and you're into all the stuff that most of us are into in this room, then it's a great it's a great place to source Whatnot. Wonderful place. No, it's good. Thank you, the baby.
I'm done.
Hey, Connie, how you doing? CK Postcards. Connie, did you get your postcard? Connie bought a postcard for me. I don't know if she knew it was for me, but she bought a postcard for me. Yep, there's no turning back.
Bye, everybody.
Bye, Miss Flippet. Time to make the donuts. Hey, Lake Erie, how you doing? Yeah, sorry about that, man. I had alluded to it last Monday, but I was at I do the band, and I was in a recording studio. Well, it was a rehearsal studio for like 9 hours. Great to have you on. All right, handing off the baton. Thank you, sir. There she is. Welcome, Dawn. Welcome to the show. Hope you're doing well. Miss Flippet was down here for like 20 minutes, but she has to go back upstairs. Sorry. Hopefully you heard her say hi. Welcome, Connie. Hi, Monty. You got your postcard. Thank you. And yes. Oh, okay. Thank you so much, Connie. Appreciate it. You bought it during the show, and I was like, does she know this is me? Like, I didn't know if you knew it was me or not. I was all excited. And then I'm like, oh, was that a mercy buy? Either case, thank you very much. Hope you enjoy it. Yep, there you go. Dawn, you were also on duty. Kelly's on duty because CJ had to step away for a moment. You guys know the drill, just in case. Yes, Dawn is here. All hail Dawn. Let's go. You are busy with reselling in advance. Yeah, everybody is busy, hopefully doing something. I called it last Monday. I said I wouldn't be able to. Well, no, yeah, I said that I wouldn't be able to do Friday because of the studio. But I still thought there was a possibility I might get back, but it didn't happen. It's a duty. And I had 2 shows on Friday, 2 Beatles show and an oldie show. That was you want to talk about extravaganza. I left my house at 7:30 in the morning on Friday. This is the truth, folks. The life on the road, right? Left at 7:30. Picked up my buddy at 8:15. It's about a 45-minute ride. 8:15. Loaded his stuff. Drove to the first venue, which was like a 2-hour ride. Got there like 10:30 or 11, I think, because we stopped and got gas, all nonsense. 11 o'clock, set up, all that good stuff. Started at 2 o'clock, did the show at 2. Ended at 4 o'clock, so 2 hours. Stripped all the equipment down again, reloaded it back in the Jeep, changed, drove an hour to Bedminster, New Jersey, unloaded this similar equipment, but not as much as the Beatles stuff because it's not as big of a production as the Beatles show, the oldies. Changed an outfit again, no wig this time, just kind of went out there, natural, but with like a uniform look with everybody. And played for 3 more hours from 6 to 9 in 38-degree weather in the mountains, in the hills of Bedminster, New Jersey. Oh, thank you, Connie. I appreciate it. Hope you like the card. And Connie, just to catch you up, and who else came on that might have, and Cameron maybe. Remember I was whining last week about I had no postcards. Was me. What am I going to do? Well, now I have, for me, I'm swimming in them. I have like about 1,000. Got 500 from an eBay assorted mixed lot, whatever you want to say, that came in just today. They were delayed a few days for shipping, unfortunately, but no fault of the seller once again. Shipped it promptly. And then Popeye's lot came in for me Saturday. That came really fast, of 500 or so. So I'm in business. I have like 1,000. I listed about 200 over the week from Saturday till today. I've probably listed about 200 more. And I have a little over 500 listed. So it's, again, I know I don't have 30,000 listed like some people, but it's a start, and I love it. I really do love it, and it's a great kick with listing quantity and selling a percentage of what you listed the same day. Is just the greatest feeling in the world. Absolutely charges me up. Oh, no problem, man. Yeah, you can watch the replay. Yeah, but it's funny. Seriously, I was whining about the fact that I ran out of postcards. I'm like, oh my God, what am I gonna do? So I had placed an order for this lot of 500. I knew this was Monday, so I knew the next day Popeye was gonna have his whatnot auction. I knew I'd be a buyer, and I was. I got a tub on Tuesday, and now they're all here. Hey Sal, how you doing? Good to see you. You're on with Cameron, right, on Sundays? You guys do like a mutual shipping hangout kind of show. Good stuff. Check those guys out if you haven't had a chance. Thanks. Yeah, it's a start, 500 plus listed already. 1,000 some odd waiting to go up. Ready to roll. There's 1,500. That's pretty cool. Of course, it's going to lead to way, way more, but I'm happy. From nothing to this is pretty cool. Oh, you saw Maiden? Nice. Oh, man. Yeah, that was really cool. It was all Jersey cards in Jersey, which is what you picked up, right, Connie? Didn't you get one of those Jersey Beach Town cards for me? Yeah, well, I finally had something to list, Kelly. That's the difference. You have a lot of inventory. I didn't have anything. So I was really keen and excited to get started. So it's good stuff. And again, kudos to Kelly. You're right. You're definitely right. What did you say the number was? I don't remember the exact number, but 2, 3, 4%, something like that is a reasonable expectation for, like, if you list 100, you'll probably sell 2 or 3 that day. And sure enough, I did. Like, I listed 100 on, I think it was Saturday or Sunday, and I sold like 3 that day. It was really cool. Brand new listings. You estimate you have 20,000. You've listed 2,500. Okay. Sounds like you have work ahead of you. The fix. That's a good way to put it. I don't know. We'll see. We'll see. I'll never let myself get to 0 again. That's the lesson. If nothing else, last week's teary-eyed session about woe is me, I have no cards was totally my own fault. I didn't prepare. I should have a reserve at all times. I was just so excited to get them listed, and in that haste to get them all listed, I didn't realize, oh my God, I have nothing left. It was pathetic. It was like something you'd see in the movies. I'm like opening drawers and that can't be it. That can't be it. And you start like freaking out and my heart starts racing. What? No cards? And I'm checking my computer for the scan stuff. There's got to be a folder that has nope, nothing. So anyway, I will not let that happen anymore. Like, I'd rather leave, even if it's 100, I don't care. I'd rather leave 100 there for a rainy day and then go ahead to the next auction or whatever means I acquire my next lot of cards is going to be. Let them come in and always have that reserve. Don't go down to 0. It's almost like running out of gas. It's like going out on a ride of your life and running out of gas. That's how it felt. Oregonians. There you go. Hey, Laura, how you doing? We'll take it that Laura is also an Oregonian. I'm tripping on my words again. Oregonian. Okay. Beach Town for $30. Is that what you were talking about this morning, Steve? I heard you mention that on Matt's show this morning. Good work, man. I listed not a bunch. I listed like, I don't know, 100 something of John's all New Jersey cards, and a bunch of them was Short Town stuff. Ocean Grove, Ocean City, Asbury Park. I had a ton of Asbury Park too. So we'll see what happens. You didn't get any lots from John? Oh, okay. 2 to 5. Okay, cool. Yeah. Fair enough, man. I was right there. 3 that day. And there, knowing that, and then it gets proven that Kelly has many tens of thousands of listings, so he can really, say that with authority that that's a fair percentage, 2 to 5%. That's even more encouraging that you just want to keep plowing away, keep listing them because you're going to sell 2-5%. So if you get, just imagine if you could somehow get 500 listed a day, which you really could do if you have the duplex scanner and all that stuff and the time. You could sell 20, 25 cards in a day. That's good doing. For me, that would be outstanding. So that's what I aspire to, stuff like that. Just get the volume up. Hello. Sorry, check right now. We do live on Sundays. Yep. I saw you guys. I think it was the week before Sunday was the first time I caught you. Very laid back, sort of Oregonian vibe going. I don't know if you're in Oregon too, Sal, but had a pack of print ads. CJ, congratulations. Care to spill the gory details about this said print ad? What was your topic? Did you make some good money on it? Was it a full page? Was it a half page? You never recognized as a bowler. I researched it and probably still listed too low. Stone Harbor, sure. I play a place called Stone. I play 5 times a year in Stone Harbor. That's funny. A theater in Stone Harbor, New Jersey. Yep, it's a nice little town too. They're very popular, especially in this area. They're very, very popular tourist destination. Only in the summer, unfortunately. It's like a ghost town. Like even now, like it's pretty much deserted from now until next May. It's a long time. But during that few months from May to September or so, it's jumping. A lot of people down there. Some are better. Some of these towns are better than others, like any place else you go. Some are more high end. Like Stone Harbor is sort of a more high end area, which is a good thing. Like Cape May, beautiful, family oriented. There's some other places that are more like younger kids and a lot of drinking and hanging out. Again, nothing wrong with any of that, but if you're a family person going down with little kids, it's probably not the place to go. Whereas like Cape May, Stone Harbor, there's a few other ones that are really nice, a little more quiet, laid back. Beautiful architecture down there too. Some of the homes are really, really pretty. We play lots of shows in those short towns. We usually play like these big outdoor. They always have like these summer series things. We thrive on those up and down the East Coast. Maryland has a bunch of them too. Delaware has a bunch of them. Connecticut has a bunch of them. Long Island has a lot of them. Half page, $14.95. Railway, very cool. Congratulations, CJ. That's awesome. See, half page, basically $15. Yep. AJ Smith. Nice sales history. Me? I don't know who you're talking about. But anyway, welcome to the show. I might be talking to something a couple of minutes ago. Is that Lori? I just saw the corner of my eye, waiting for her to populate here in my live screen. Here she is. You're lurking. Are you lursting? The new term I learned? Listing/lurking or purely on lurking mode? Regardless, welcome to the show, Singing Mermaid Lori. Hope you're doing well. Nice. Oh, yeah, the Crackerjack guy. That's cool. Does he have a name? He's like a sailor, isn't he? Isn't that interesting with all the live listing shows we've done? Have we ever done I don't think we ever done the Crackerjack guy. What's his name? There's got to be a name for him. Danica. She was on, what's her stage name? Or whatever you call it, YouTube name. She was on, she was on our show, right? A month or two ago. And she was in here a few times. What is her name? Junk something, Thrift Junk. Sorry if I'm butchering it. Probably Jack. There you go. Ask a stupid question. But I think he's a sailor, which I didn't realize until fairly recently. When I was a kid, I didn't realize he was a sailor. Yeah, good stuff. Lady Luck Junk. There you go. What did I say? Junk Luck. Thank you. Yeah, she was cool. She was on our show when we did the split screen with 10 guests prior to Paperpalooza. She came in as a late addition. Yeah, I subscribed to her channel after that. I see she keeps making videos. I was close, yeah. I knew there was Junk. And what did I say? Lady Junk? I knew it was Lady. I knew it was Junk. I knew Danica more than anything. It's funny. Sometimes you know people more by their YouTube names. Sometimes you get so used to their regular names. And that was the case with Danica. I knew her as Danica more than I knew the stage name, the pen name. Well, it's really exciting to hear you guys are selling some print ads. That's great stuff. Hopefully you get... I'm not ever going to claim it's as popular as postcards as far as a collectible, because postcards have been around for a long, long time and people collecting them and all that stuff. But again, there are some parallels. And if you like the postcard thing, I think it would be a fairly smooth transition into print ads. It's a lot of fun. It's not quite as many variables, like as far as, white border and linen, like those different style print. It's basically pieces of paper any way you slice it. There's different sizes and there's different ages, but they all tell interesting stories. There's some history in them. Here we go. CJ with the information. Sailor Jack and his dog Bingo. Thank you, CJ. Good information. And he is a sailor, right? So Sailor Jack, everybody, if anybody wondered. Congratulations on that print ad. So I can't believe I don't think I've ever had a Crackerjack ad. So that's kind of mind-boggling. Pretty positive. Now, Mr. Peanut. Mr. Peanut, it makes frequent appearances in the print ad world. Jolly Green Giant, Pillsbury Doughboy. Who are your standards? Buster Brown, little Buster Brown guy. Those are the ones that stick out right out of the gate that there's lots of. Elsie the cow. You'll see lots of Elsie the cow out there. Who else? Fix them. Oh, it's from a comic book. Okay. Yeah, weren't you asking about whether or not to sell ads from comic books? You've proven that yes, you can. Not being a comic book guy, I just like I wasn't a postcard guy, but not being a comic book guy, I didn't realize they had ads in comic books. I thought they were just kind of like comic strips. That's great though. Always love when people are selling this stuff, especially if I turn them on to it. That's really rewarding to know that, you know, maybe I turn somebody on to a new field or a new niche that they weren't aware of, and that they're having some success in it is a wonderful feeling. Plenty of room for plenty of people to sell those things, just like postcards. How many millions of people sell postcards? I'm looking forward. Suddenly, we're about less than a month out now from this York postcard show. It'll be my first ever. I'll be attending next month in York, Pennsylvania, about an hour and a half drive from me. So hop, skip, and a jump, basically. Can't wait. Can't wait to check it out. So I'll make this silly declaration on video because everything you say on these shows is out there forever. But I think I have, what do I have, 1,000 left? No, I'm not going to do that. I'm not going to say it. I was going to say maybe I'll be good till the show. I won't be. Because not if I'm listing 100 or so a day. That's like 10 days, I'll be gone again. I will not let myself fall below, I'm going to say 100. Maybe, in fact, I might even put just 100 cards in a special box on a special shelf with a do not open till Christmas sticker on it, so that I'm never left again scrounging on the floor looking for remnants of a postcard to list. That was an awful feeling. Oh. You bought a lot of comic books ads off Whatnot. Really cool. On the planet? You really think that's I bet you there are. I'm not just saying on eBay. I'm saying on the planet. In excuse me. I just know it's a very popular collectible, so like stamps and all that stuff. There's not a million on eBay, that's for sure. Good old Whatnot. Yeah, well, it's funny you say that, Dawn, because guess what's coming up in just... Oh, did I take down my screen? You're lucky. I was talking about Ephemerama 3, which is coming up in a little less than a month, about 25 days from now. I guess 3 weeks. We'll call it 3 weeks from this coming Saturday, November 12th. Ephemerama 3. Bum, 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 bum. Should be a lot of fun. I'm on at 9 o'clock. I already have my show out there, so go ahead and bookmark it if you haven't already done so. If you'd like to check it out, hope to see you. As it stands, 25 days out, I'll probably have print ads on there, but I might mix it up. I might bring some other stuff out. I've had some other ephemera, believe it or not, other than just the print ad stuff on Whatnot, and they sold too. So maybe I'll mix it up a little bit. But the thing about the Ephemerama and that whole Paperpalooza, the same thing. You have an hour, and that's it. And so in an hour, you want to try to maximize and get as much product out there to be seen by people. So maybe it's safe to just stick with one thing and just kind of plow through them to maximize, the exposure for your hour, and then hand the baton on to whoever follows you. Yeah, you've really shown a great level of restraint on Whatnot, Dawn. I'm proud of you. It's not easy. We have a new Dawn. Did you meet? Let me go back up. Let me see if I can pull his thing up again. Hold on. Richard Johnson. Here he is. Richard Johnson, if you're still watching, meet omnipresent Dawn Wright. Dawn Wright is good people. If you have any questions about anything on the planet, ask Dawn Wright, especially as it pertains to reselling, Whatnot, eBay, Etsy. She's a knowledgeable gal. She won't steer you wrong. And she's also a veteran of Whatnot, if I didn't mention that already. Yeah, Richard's brand new to the program, likes the stuff, and he just joined Whatnot tonight through my my link, so he gets his $10. Yeah, he's probably exactly. You see, we made the mistake of turning him on to Whatnot about a half an hour ago, Dawn, and Steve says he's probably lost. What have I done? Yeah, hopefully he's still here. If you are here, just say hi. Yeah, there you go. T-shirt. But you will not lead anyone astray. I think that's a fair statement. Wouldn't you agree? You really are great. She always aims to help people out, and highly commendable. Let's get the current subscriber count for everybody. Where are we at? 865, folks. We are just crawling to this imaginable finish line. We'll get there. We will get there. But I would like to personally thank all 865 of you, because if you had told me in January or February when I started this that there would be 865 people, following it, I know it's a low amount for many other channels, but if you really think about what 865 people, that's a lot of people. Picture 865 people in a room, it's a lot of people. If they all chose to follow my channel is a really honor, a big honor. I'm very happy about that. I don't know if anybody says that on their channels about the subscriber count or whatever, but I really appreciate everyone wholeheartedly. So hopefully we'll get to 1,000. When we do, keep talking about it, but we will have a fun, really fun special show for that event. I already have some of the ideas on paper. Big fan of paper still. Maybe that's an antiquated notion, but showed the legendary Imagine pad is always by my side. Pen. Big fan of just writing stuff down. So I have like a whole page or two dedicated to the 1,000 subscribers celebratory program. Should be a lot of fun. The reason I'm looking down here is I want to show everybody something. I had a card, a postcard that is. Kelly, you'll probably get a good turnout since you're following prime time. Yeah, he certainly does. Yeah, he's a good guy. And I've known him for a while. And he has a Facebook group that I've been part of. He has a Whatnot group, which we talked about, which I'm part of. He has a membership on YouTube, which I've been part of. So he's a really good guy. We've spoke. He's from, well, he grew up partially in Staten Island where I grew up. He's a few years younger than me, but he grew up, and we were talking shop a little bit about old neighborhoods and stuff. So he's a very good guy. Very bright guy. He's a doctor, folks, if you didn't know that. And a really good guy. So yeah, and he has a very good following. That should be cool. I'm sandwiched between him and Popeye, so that's not bad. I get to hand the baton off to Popeye. And my hope is that the people, it might be over hopeful, but I think it's possible, again, based on the Paperpalooza experience a couple months ago. But the idea is like whatever that first show, Ben starts it off. So he gets 40, 50 people, hopefully, in his room. He passes that, or at least he gives the opportunity to the next auctioneer to have that crowd go right to him, and so on and so on. So it's like a game of telephone. Hopefully by the time prime time, if he has like 100 people in his room, I have no idea what he does comic books, a lot of comic books traditionally on Whatnot. I know that he loves comic books. So I don't know if there's going to be, this is a ephemerama event, so we'll see what happens. But yeah, he should probably have a fair amount of people in his room. Hopefully they'll spill into mine. And then I should hopefully be able to give the whole kit and caboodle over to John to end the night. I love these events. I like the camaraderie a lot. Yes, thank you, Dawn. I already begged and pleaded, and it looks like just about everybody did. So thank you all very much for hitting the like button. Small bottles of tins. Oh, yeah. Yeah, Steve's in a bit of a jam here. Hey, Eric, how you doing? Good to see you. Just talking about your significant other earlier about hope you guys are finishing up with the shed at this point. Looking forward to having her back on as a guest. You're always welcome as a guest too if you want to come on. But we had her and her mom on a few months ago, and she was a riot. I can't wait to have her back. Primetime sold postcards. Okay. Oh yeah. As far as people count, anyway. Good. Yeah, he's a good guy. I like him. Just as personal, on a personal level, he's a very nice guy. Very helpful. So I'm sure he'll do well. Yeah, it always helps if he has like 35, 40,000 subscribers or something. So that's a nice, that's a very strong, you have a lot of drawing power if you have that huge YouTube community to potentially bring over to Whatnot. Again, you still have to produce. Just because you have a YouTube community Doesn't necessarily mean you'll translate into whatnot, but it gives you a punch a shot anyway, doesn't it? Yeah, and he has stuff from the 30s, right? You were saying, Steve, with like creams and stuff that actually have cream in it still. That can't be good. You're about done. Well, how about we have? I mean, ask. Excuse me. Ask Tracy if you guys want to do a video. You can come on. Maybe we'll do a live. Welcome to the barn kind of a thing. If you're up for that, that would be really cool. Be happy to host that. Holy cow! Really? And these were just kind of basic cards? Were they anything special? Dawn, you don't know the barn story? Tracy's and Eric have been building a barn for a year, right? At this point? Like a solid year. And if you do clear them out, wear gloves. Although at this point, seriously, like there's no microbe, like nothing's going to be alive in there, but it might not smell too good, but I don't know. The reselling bond is almost ready to roll. You'll have to watch a primetime show better than the one Facebook. I can't believe correct 30,000 guys. 30,000 cards. Holy cow. I haven't. Have I? I mean, I might have watched one or two initially of Primetime's whatnots, but because I'm just not personally a comic book guy, and he was doing comic books because that's what he loves and that's what he's selling on, and they do really well on whatnot. But I haven't checked out more than like maybe a few minutes of his shows. I don't know if he's changed up a little bit and he does different stuff now. But I'll tell you one thing: I'll see him definitely on the 12th. I was going to say February. My goodness, on November 12th. You think they're going for Great Crisis because they have contents in them? You too can have 80-year-old hand cream. Oh, really? That's all right. You'll be ready to roll. Bond R accent reminds me of are you or are you not a narc? I will need clarification on that, Cameron. No idea what that means. A strong disclaimer, yeah. Well, here you go. Connie's saying, let not your heart be troubled. eBay has changed so much over the past couple of years. Restricted items just used. But do you agree with his idea, Connie, about like just a very strong disclaimer? Do not use, not to be used. Hey, Steven, how you doing? Welcome. I haven't seen you in a while. He does estate sale videos. Cool. Welcome, Steven. Bidding on $9 greeting cards. A starting bid of 15. Oh, for 9. I'm sorry, I was misreading that. Creams and stuff like that, Connie? The news stuff, Kelly? Yeah, I've been watching them a few years too. Probably like at this point 4 or so, 3 or 4. Oh, okay. I'm out with movies, Cameron. If you didn't know that, I don't know anything about movies. I'm sorry. Except for The Godfather. That's good. That's a good practice. Oh, no problem. Hopefully busy with good stuff. Not lurking. Oh, that's what I wanted to say earlier. I did this probably goes back several shows. Alluded to the fact that some people had asked me about doing a podcast. Well, I did get the ball rolling with a site called Anchor. So Tommy, thank you for that. Tommy was on the show a couple weeks ago and told me about that site. I went in, I signed up and everything, and I did some preliminary. I have to learn to speak before I do a podcast. Preliminary audio samples and stuff, and they have like some cool tools that you could use. And I am going to start off when I do launch it, and I will launch some podcasts if anybody cares, but I'm going to probably cut up some previous shows because I have a pretty good catalog now, especially of live shows, that I might just kind of create a common theme or a topic around and splice some audio bits from those old shows and then just title it and send it out there and see what happens. Because the couple, I've had several people ask me about that for whatever reason they prefer that format. The one guy specifically says he's a truck driver, so he's always listening to podcasts, and it's like, wow, that's a really cool idea. So anyway, yeah, that is definitely going to happen. And again, thanks to Tommy for the heads up with that anchor, because it got me. At least I'm starting it. Requiem Salvage picked up. I don't know who that is. 30,000 postcards. Yeah, that's the bigger question. Exactly. There he is. Hey, Tommy, what's going on, man? Anchor is great to start with. Oh, yeah, I'm sure you could evolve to bigger and better. But yeah, for now, for my needs, it's more than adequate. Yeah. Thanks for the heads up with that. Yeah, isn't that funny? You say people's name in this room and boom. Uh-oh, hold on. Hazardous open box vintage Jiffy scratch remover. Ooh. I wonder if it contains any flammable material or something. Yeah, we don't want the Continentals. That's what all the in kids say. I don't know why. Again, I really never got a specific answer why, but I guess they're just not desirable cards. Yeah, Eric, that's what some people were saying, like to just kind of have in the background, right? Yeah. It's definitely a cool idea. And like I said, I'm just going to chop up all, at least initially. I'm hopefully I'll just start recording, individual new pieces. But since I do have all that video footage out there, I can definitely, it takes some work, but I'll just have to pull up a series of videos and try to look for some commonalities, like certain conversations about the same thing, let's say, and try to string it together like in a cohesive fashion that it makes some sense. It might be moderately entertaining when somebody's listening or driving a truck or whatever. So yeah, definitely. I already started piecing this stuff together. It really is it's a very user-friendly platform, that's for sure. It's really simple. I mean, I do videos all the time. I do music recording and video editing and video recording for the band forever. And so it's just kind of an addition to that. Good stuff. Buzzsprout, once you get going, has built-in sponsors. Oh, the cost is hard to just. Oh, God, yeah, exactly. And I'm a big fan of that kind of stuff. Like, start slow. I'm not going to pour a ton of money into something that's not proven. So to that end, yeah, this anchor is awesome. Okay. Yep. Makes sense. Empty and just sell the bottle eventually. Have hundreds and hundreds of old drugstore. Wow, that's wild, Connie. I didn't know that. One of the things that come up sometimes in estate sales, I've discussed many, many a time that my wife and I, that's our thing. We love estate sales. They're plentiful in my area, and we just enjoy going to them. But one of the things that have always kind of rubbed me the wrong way a little bit is going into people's bathrooms, like when they have a medicine cabinet filled with stuff. And these are people that, usually, not always, but usually recently deceased, so there's like some, I don't know, it's just a little bit too personal. Sometimes it gives me like the chills when I'm standing. We talk about that, right? Sometimes like we're going through records or something and we're sitting on somebody's bed, like a little old lady's bed or something. There's like a heartbreaking element to it. But the medicine cabinet really gets, personal. And I remember somebody who just, striking up a conversation at one estate sale, and somebody said that's specifically what they go towards. They go to any estate sale that they go to, they head right for the bathroom or bathrooms, and they raid stuff like that. And kind of to the point of this, like they sell old Band-Aids or old whatever, they look for like older items, chapstick, things that might seem nonsensical to most of us, and they make money on them. So it's incredible. If it never dawned on me, just like a lot of people tell me, I never thought of the ads or whatever. It's the same thing. There's probably 100 different categories like that until somebody presents it to you, you never thought about. Oh man, I could sell used shaving cream, Barbasol shaving cream tins. Sure you can. So nothing surprises me anymore. It's true. Everything's for sale. Limited knowledge. You could tell he parrots what he's heard. He emphasizes that card. Oh, Raphael talks. That's true too. But I still have to edit. Like I want to edit for myself what I'm going to put up. Like they're all from video. I have a program where I could just take all my videos and dump them into program and just pull MP3s from all of them, and then I'll just probably edit the audio, like splice the audio, I should say. But yeah, that's great to know that you could do that. If I have like one complete video, I could just drop it in. Maybe because it wants to be cool. Drugstore items, yeah. There you go. Mented it. Yeah, exactly, right? Or the Ben Gay or the, my God, man. I mean, the stuff that's in these people's, again, I don't know if anybody has a similar experience or cares like I care about that. I don't, it's one of those things that it's just, it is what it is. It's life, right? No big deal. You can't take it with you, all that kind of stuff. And it's just, but there's just certain times, for whatever reason, it hits me sometimes, that you're in somebody's house. Like just, you think about your own home or whatever, that who knows, one day there might be a bunch of us plowing through your stuff. It's just kind of, I don't know, it's kind of creepy in a weird way, but tis what it is. Really, Connie, yeah. And that's what it was a lady who was talking with us when we were in the bathroom and said, yeah, she specifically goes to estate sales just to raid bathrooms. Like, wow. I don't know who this is. Can you care to reveal who this is? Hey, Mark, what's going on, man? SM Postcards. Another really nice channel on YouTube that I find myself watching with some frequency. So check out Mark on SM Postcards. Hey now. Law Dog was running an auction of those items. He put everything on one lot. It sold and won that lot 30 or 40 items. Mm-hmm. Gotcha. Oh, yeah. There is a proper Canadian version, Dawn, where you don't get screwed with the whole selling thing at the international shipping. Not selling, shipping, excuse me. You laugh. One of the items, Val Cream Hair Cream. There you go. Yeah, I wouldn't be. I laugh. I laugh, but it's a facetious laugh because it's true. I've learned through the years. It's true. Everything sells. Like, and there's a market for almost anything. Something you think is useless piece of junk is treasure in someone else's eyes. So yeah, Val. There you go. Val Cream. One thing that we have picked up from a bathroom, but it wasn't a creamer thing, and it did sell, was like a Norelco woman's, was it Norelco? A lady's chic, something like that. A lady's electric razor kit from the 50s, which was kind of nice. It was in a compact form. It had a mirror. It worked, plugged in and all that stuff. I don't know. I didn't try it on myself, but that's the only bathroom item I could ever think that we picked up in an estate sale. And it was the lady's chic or something. Maybe it wasn't. I think it was a Norelco lady shaver. And the reason we knew it was from the 50s specifically was because it was family's mom had passed on. The dad passed away years before, and she was alone. And she was in her late 80s, I think they had said. And the daughter, who was downstairs, like participating, which was really cool, by the way, participating. She was answering questions if anybody had questions. Very respectful estate sale. We went up and asked her. My wife was talking with me about it. We were talking in front of her without asking her to hope that she would chime in, and she did. She's like, oh, yeah, that was mom's. I used to use that. It's like from the late 50s. I'm like, oh, wow. Are you sure you want to part with it? We got it for like $1 because it was pretty much useless to her other than, sentimental. A guy in Facebook group. Oh, okay. Gotcha. See, I haven't dabbled yet in the Facebook selling group kind of stuff, auctions. Oh, I'm sure, man. I'm sure. Oh, really? That's interesting. All right, so it's not like a .ca situation, right? Whatnot.ca. The lag on Facebook makes the auctions unbearable. I've never even participated in one of them. Does anybody here ever participate in YouTube live auctions, which were in vogue even before Whatnot? Obviously, people were doing that. Anybody ever pick up anything on the YouTube front, be it postcards or something else? Mr. Buys a Lot, who I got to meet, it's almost 2 years ago now. It's crazy. January of 21. Really nice guy. When I bought some stuff from him in the YouTube online space thing, reselling auction, and then I got to go up and hang out with him. which was pretty cool for a day. He showed me around the warehouse and all that stuff. He's like, he actually, ironically, he's very close to Allentown where we just played that show on Friday. But man, I mean, his name is he buys a lot. It's like a hangar, like multiple hangars filled with stuff. Just incredible. Hey, what's up, Rutan? The best shaver to look out for is the chicken chick. See, razor people. Here we go. I'm not familiar with that brand. Marker stainless unused razor painted dollar soap. They're beautiful. Yeah, Brian, exactly. Yep. Yeah, he's pretty cool. I think he's in Whatnot now. I've seen him. He still does YouTube all the time, or his wife does. Like they trade off. Uh-oh. What's up with that, Dawn? Oh, I see that. What a great point Steve makes. Exactly. You can't just you can't lurk and Whatnot. You have to enter the room and then right away, hey, Marty. And what if you just want to hang out and watch for a few minutes? Yeah, I totally agree with that, Steve. I wish there was a incognito mode or something. It's good to know that exists on Facebook. I didn't know that. Chicken. Yeah, I know. He was talking about that when I met with him. He was at the time he was saying next year when I move. But he's still doing the shows, right? I still see it pop up. Oh my goodness. Long day. Long couple days. Getting up really early. And it's going to sound silly, but it's the truth. I get up early because I'm excited about the postcards. I wanted to run down and get some postcards up. And then today, 500 more in the mail. I was like, wow. 4 days late, though. I was dying. I was already dying last week. And they were supposed to be here on the 13th. I had the, if anybody doesn't know this, when you buy something, you can go to USPS, and you can sign up to have alerts sent to your phone, and you get the status of, it is left point A, it is now point B. So I had this thing, and it was anticipated to be delivered on the 13th, which was last week, and I was excited about it. And 13th, out for it never got to that out to delivery, which is what you want to see. And I knew it. I'm like, there's no way it's coming today. And it was 9 o'clock at night, nothing. Then at midnight, I hit ding, your package is running late. And it was stuck in Philadelphia for 4 days. I live 15 minutes from Philadelphia. It must be one of those huge hubs or something. And it was just stuck there for 4 days. And then this morning out of nowhere, it's moved on to the local post office to me. And then it said out for delivery. And sure enough, it came 2 o'clock. I was pumped. The woes of the post office, huh? Even on the buying side. It's so funny. If you buy a toothbrush, it comes in 10 seconds. But if you order something you really want, there always seems to be a delay. Out of control. The stuff that you don't care about comes to you lightning fast. You pointed and laughed. Yeah, so wrong. But now again, I'm swimming in postcards, at least for me. So lots of listing to do. That's what I'll be doing. I should absolutely shatter my goal. My 4,000 goal was for Halloween. We're 2 weeks out, and I mean conceptually, I could do it this week pretty easily. Even if I did 50 a day, I could get there pretty soon. So maybe we'll adjust that goal if need be. But I just wanted to get to that number. And again, it's only because of these postcards that I'm able to get up there, which is pretty cool. But much more importantly than having X amount of listings, I want to sell. I want to sell. I don't want to just list postcards endlessly and have them sit in my basement. I want to sell them. So with that 2 to 5% that Kelly mentioned earlier, about 2 to 5% or so of what you list on a given day could sell. Again, inspirational. List 500, sell 20 to whatever the math is, 25, something like that, postcards. I'd be psyched. Pardon. You laughing at me, Dawn? You laughing at me? That's one of those classics. I know who says the line, but I don't know what movie it's from. No idea. Not a movie guy. Oh my goodness. See Kelly coming up with something here. I hate the lag on. There's a 10-second lag between YouTube and StreamYard, and I have to wait for comments to populate from here to here. You just had someone message you that you only received 1 of the 3 postcards sent. Uh-oh. Ooh, is that right? Oh, you laugh? Yeah, no, Dawn, you spent the whole weekend laughing at me. Laughing at my misery. Yeah, that's funny. So she didn't realize it was 3 in 1 thing. I'll tell you what, now I'm swimming, truly swimming in these sleeves, though, because the whole lot of 500-ish that I got from Popeye were all sleeved. The 200 or 300 I bought of California cards were all sleeved. Maybe a third of the ones I got from the eBay lot of 500 were sleeves. So I have sleeves coming, and then Popeye keeps throwing in extra packs of sleeves for me. So I'm good with sleeves. Up to my eyeballs in postcard sleeves. No, she probably just didn't realize they were in there. Yeah, apparently I know there'll probably be a point where I'll be like, again, I'll be on the floor scrounging for sleeves. That can't be the last one. Do you really? See, I'm not chintzy with that. I wouldn't be chintzy with that. I did upgrade my envelope for the $20 and other cards for the standard envelope thing. Got myself a pack of 1,000. Well, 2 packs of 500. The little bit longer form factor. What I don't know what the exact dimensions are. Hold on, I'll show you. But I love them. I'm using these guys now for postcards. When Connie just picked hers up, I think she was the last order I sent out with my small. I had the regular, like maybe about that size. But the problem with the benefit of this one, it has the self-sticking thing, which is kind of cool. But it's just a little bit taller. And speaking of sleeves, I found that, you know, when I'm putting cards in sleeves, that little extra splice or whatever that the sleeve adds to was making it like right to the brim with the smaller envelopes. And I didn't want to risk, you know, bending anything. So I got these slightly larger. They're still just basic envelopes, but these things are awesome. So now the cards fit in perfectly. It even has that like the lined inner there so that you don't see through them. I like them. So I have like 1,000 of these now. Ready to roll. Got to ship a few of them over the weekend. Yeah, probably. I know. But right now they're all over the place. Like I need to, you know, that's another, I'm sure Steve has videos about that. Excuse me. Mark has videos about these, about this whole thing. But, you know, yes, I have a system. The system I'm using, like a lot of people, I know Mark does something different, but the whole A, B, C, D, E, F, G, and then A1, A2, A3. So I think I've fit 12. I have the plastic divider, so I have A1 to A12 is fitting in my first shoebox. So my Sterilite thing, right? 12. I can fit 12 comfortably. The problem is like with things like this, like, so I have that system down, get the card, scan them, put them in their appropriate A1, A2, whatever, right? And then I have my SKU. My problem is with stupid other things like this. Like when I take off, like I have 500 cards sitting here from Popeye. Every one of them is sleeved. So of course you have to take them all out of the sleeves to scan them. Well, now I don't want to put them all back in sleeves and put them back in the thing. Maybe I should, but right now I'm not doing that. So I want to put the stacks of hundreds of sleeves, but I'm just like throwing in one of my drawers that I have, which has like tape in it and like a ruler, like just kind of a junk drawer down here on my shipping station. And I need a better process to keep these sleeves because I know, of course, like I'll need to recycle them. They're great to have. But man, right now it's just piles of sleeves, you know? I need a better system to organize where I put my sleeves. Maybe that's getting a little too intricate, but it's a thing, you know? Because if I'm getting these bunch of postcards that don't have sleeves, I need to learn a proper storage method for the postcard sleeves. Oh, you have resealable sleeves. That's cool. I use those for my records. I have these beautiful resealable for 12-inch LPs. 5,000 left. Continentals. See, I don't have any Continental cards yet, so I'm sure I'll cross that bridge. Bought tons of the 5x7 printer paper sales. Oh, that's a cool idea. Interesting. A6 self-stick envelopes. Nice. My name is Steve, and I am a sleeve hoarder. I love getting Popeye's pound-and-a-half lots. Yes. See, I didn't have. Luckily, maybe I'm lucky. The one I just got, the tub I just got, there weren't any price stickers. They were just sleeved, but no price stickers. You couldn't get them off though. I have, again, from the record thing, there's a couple of concoctions that work really well to get glue, like something like it's. I guess it depends on what you use, obviously, to adhere it to the clear plastic sleeve. But I have lots of, like I said, little potions that work pretty well to get stuff off like that with glue. Because I find that all the time with album covers. I try to take price tags off without compromising the paper or the cardboard underneath. You put the loose sleeves in a 6x4x4 box. There you go. Yeah, I could actually, what I should do is probably just get one of my little eBay boxes. I don't know what the exact dimensions are. You know, the brown boxes. They'd probably fit in there. I know it's an easy solution, but it's like right now, I think it's just because I'm excited. So I'm like, oh, let me get my cards. And I'm so focused on the other things we talked about, getting them scanned right away and being organized with the whole scanning and storage part of it, that the other stuff kind of just gets thrown as I'm plowing through cards. And then I look at this pile of plastic sleeves in varied states of condition. Some are a little dirtier, some are clean. Exactly. Yeah, I am saving them. I'm not throwing them out. Wow, really? Good stuff. Now I haven't had any need yet. I'm sure I should pick some up just in case for the top loaders everybody talks about. Again, I was talking with Kelly a couple of days ago about that. I was like, I'm glad thank God I did, because I was going to pick up this style, whatever. I'm like, even if I just get like one pack of 50, whatever, just in case I have some higher end cards down the line, I want to have them on hand. And it just looked really thick. So I'm like, hey man, do you think this would fit in this? He's like, nope, don't put that in there. It's too rigid or whatever. So they have like different levels of rigidity, if that's a word. It's like, God. When you put a card in your sleeve, you got a big tote full of sleeves. Like I'm talking those heavy duties. Oh, really? Do I research? You mean reuse? Did you mean reuse? After I scan the card, like right now, I know there's different, to each their own, right? Some people like to have them sleeved when they put them into their bin, wherever they have their inventory stored. And then when it goes to sell, they just pull it right out and throw it in the envelope and they're done. At this point anyway, I don't have them sleeved in my, what do I have? I'm working on my third tub right now, actually. This is tub number 3. Tub number 3. This is the Popeye tub. So I still have all these cards in here. I think, like I said, I listed about 100 because this was filled. And now we have, that much space. But like let's say, here's an example. Here's a fresh example. They're all sleeved. They're all sleeved. So like I'll unsleeve them obviously to scan them, and I don't go through the trouble of them putting them back in a sleeve. I just store them in my, I'll put my plastic dividers in this tub when they're all listed, and when it sells, I'll go get a fresh sleeve, put it in, and put them in my brand new envelope that I like, and get rolling. Re-sleeve. Yeah, that's what I thought. Yeah, hopefully I answered that. No, I have. I mean, as of yet, I've only listed a few, but I haven't put them right back in. I guess I could. The Gooby Gone. Yeah, I've used that. There's a few like there's a few things. If you go to YouTube and just type how to remove stickers, there's a few products that work. WD-40 can work sometimes. It depends on what's underlying. Like, I don't care if you think about it, like those sleeves, who cares, right? It's just a plastic sleeve. You could be fairly aggressive and get that off, I would think. Something like an album cover, it's a lot more delicate. And I don't want to, again, disturb, the paper or the image underneath. You could ruin your cover. The postcards that come from his shows, antique booths have to be tagged. Yeah, no, it's totally understandable. I don't mind it at all. I'm just saying I'm suddenly find myself with these mountains of used sleeves. Re-sleeve, yeah, no problem. You're saving old sleeves for 2 reasons. One, if there's a shortage, yes, which is a shortage of everything nowadays. If you decide to sell at shows, you don't want to put your cheap quarter cards. Yep, there you go. The little bags you use can store about 25 cards. Okay, cool. Right, that's a good point too. You could get more into these, whether you use these Sterilite boxes or whatever you use. Yeah, you could just fit a little bit more. It's amazing. They look so thin, but when they're multiplied, it does. It takes up, and plus there's like a little bit of air between it, so you just get a little more bang for your buck if you put the bare cards in there. Without question. Yeah. And it's funny, well, they weren't really postcard sleeves. They were the 5x7, I guess. So that's bigger than a postcard. I have tons of those that I picked up for other things. What was I using? I forgot why I bought them. There was something I was selling with some frequency, and I said I need to have them. Like luggage tags, things like that. Any one of those, everybody knows from my print ads, I have the really big, basically the same kind of things, the sleeves, but they have the self-adhesive. I bought these smaller ones at like 5x7 for things like that. I had picked up a bunch of those like old luggage tags. I need like small paper items. It's just a great way to keep them, from getting wet primarily. That's the real reason to put them on. I will say, the one thing I was a little put off by with my 500 lot that I picked up on eBay, and Kelly knows I'm not going to shout out the person. Everything was fine. But for me personally, they were shipped in a little, do I still have the box or I threw it out? Hold on. I still have the box. I still have the box. It has been shown in the waste paper basket. But, he shipped them in a regular little priority mail box, which is right here, which is fine. Nothing big. If they fit, it was only 500 cards. But it came to me like this, right? Thusly, in the box. And when you open the box, it was 500 cards, which, I don't know, there was like 300 or 400 fit straight across, and then a couple, 100 or 200, whatever the remainder was, had to kind of be catty corner, if that makes sense. So you had like a bunch like this and a couple like this. But the only thing that bothered me a little bit was, and these were coming from, where did they come from? Getting to some details here, folks. Indiana. So, not terribly far from me, but long enough. All he had was some bubble wrap around the bare cards. None of them were sleeved. There was nothing protecting it from water damage. So that was a little bit, if this stupid little piece of cardboard is going to get soaked, trust me, I've shipped stuff in this. And personally, for me, if I'm shipping a bulk quantity of paper items, I'm going to wrap them in some sort of protective material, like these sleeves you talk about or whatever. Just bubble wrap, it was just kind of haphazardly thrown around to keep it from bouncing around the box, but certainly not a watertight seal. So that's my only, I didn't complain about it, but it did, make the eyebrow go up. I'm like, come on, man. What if they got soaked? You would have ruined 500 cards, Maybe that's just me, but I would absolutely, when I sell, that's one of the reasons I use for the print ads. I always cover them in that nice clear plastic. It's primarily to keep them from getting any moisture in there. So not cool that he didn't put any kind of protective barrier on the paper. At least that's what I thought. Appreciate this, that he wrapped them in bubble wrap and all, but again, it's not watertight at all. Once you've entered everything into eBay. Oh, you do. So you sleeve them before you put them back. Yeah, we'll see. Maybe I'll get to that point where I want to do that too. I'm not sure. And for me, it's the opposite. I'm like, it depends on whether you want to spend the time on the front end or back end. That's all. Either way, you have to sleeve them, right? So it depends on how you want to spend your time. What's up, Matt? How you doing? You sleeve all your cards. You still have bought boxes of sleeves for eBay. Typically about 50 to 70% are reusable. Yeah, I've found the same thing. Like the ones, and I only have now I have about 1,500 cards, let's say, right? Maybe probably a solid 1,000 of those came sleeved. And none of them are filthy. Like they're not perfect when you take the card out, but they're far from dirty. I'd have no problem reusing them at all. And then I have, bags and bags of brand new ones that everybody keeps throwing in for me. Use top load. Yeah, I was talking about that. I don't know if you were listening before, Matt, but I don't have any top loaders yet, and I was going to pick some up. But I want to just have some in case we have some higher value cards in here. I don't know. We'll see. You don't scan your cards until you're ready to list. You sleeve them as soon as you list. So you sleeve. Okay, cool. To sleeve or not to sleeve? We have another vote for sleeve after listing. We have another vote for sleeve after listing. Yes, I seal. That's what I do. So I'm a big record guy. I love records anyway. And when I sell them, same thing. I always sleeve those. But I wash my records. I have a record cleaning machine. But I don't do the record cleaning until they sell, because that's really a waste of time to sit. Because truth be told, if they sit on your shelf for a couple of months, they're gonna get dusty again, even if you wash them. So that's one exception. But I have them here. I have tons of albums in these sleeves. And these are really cool. They're exactly like the just a bigger version of the postcard sleeves, but they're self-adhesive. You just go like that. They have an adhesive thing. And there's a record tip for anybody who likes records. Always keep your album, the actual physical album, outside of the cover. It prevents the ring wear on your album. It keeps them in good condition for the long run. But yeah, I put sleeves on all my records too. I don't wash them until they sell. Well, I got these plastic ones because a bunch of people in this group told me to get them from, what was the thing called? Matt's something baseball. What is it called? There's a website, Kim. Hold on. I'll get it because I saved it. Something baseball. I saved it. Now I can't find it. Somebody will write it by the time I get to it, but something baseball. Matt's baseball. Here we go. That's the link. Really good site. They have all sorts of stuff. It's geared towards, obviously, for baseball card collectors and stuff of that ilk. But if you check that out, Kim, that website that I just posted, I picked up these plastic dividers. They work really well. I don't know. I bought a bunch. They come in packs of 50, I think. I bought like 10 of them, which 500 things is, with 50, that's what, 2,500 cards. I'm not there yet, but I'll be buying back. I'll definitely go back to the site, though. Just a nice plastic divider. Doesn't have to be anything fancy. Just something to help distinguish, keep them organized. Let me catch up. I'm slowed down in some. I fell behind in chat. Sorry about that. Hold on. You find it easier to search when they're asleep? Yeah, it's easier to physically thumb through. Sure, I get that. Index cards work great. Absolutely. Yep. Yeah, I don't know if you got to it yet, but I had a link for the site that I got mine from. That makes sense, Jay Smith, absolutely. And Kelly put a link in there for something. There you go. Was that the Matt's baseball guy, Kelly? 90% of the bulk lots like that, just in the box. Yeah, with just bubble wrap around them. I don't know. Again, there wasn't like anything careless about it. For me, for water damage, you would think you'd put something protective around it. I'm big on that because I sell lots of paper stuff and albums, and I always make sure there's some sort of plastic bag around whatever I'm putting in a box, because moisture gets in there and it destroys paper. I could have, 500 useless sopping wet pieces of cardboard for all that money. I'd be pretty mad. Pretty mad. Exactly. You get a lot of repeat orders from people because you put each postcard between two pieces of 21-point chipboard. Ooh. Well done, Stephen. Yeah, too thick to... Oh. Stephen says there's a way around it. Oh, they look for top loader used. Yeah, okay, no problem. Exactly. That's what I'm saying, Don. Like if I have if you think about it, the one card so far that I've sold, the most I've sold was the $50 card that I showed everybody a couple weeks ago, the Mexican marble game thing. Theoretically, looking back at it now, had I known about these top loaders, I probably would have put that in one. But I guess it's up to you what you consider a valuable card. But $50 and up, let's just say, for argument's sake, probably going forward, I would, if I'm lucky enough to sell some for 50 or more, I'll probably use one of those top loaders just for the added level. And then you put a bag. I watched some videos about that too. You put it in the top loader, then you put that in a plastic bag sort of thing, like I showed you with the record. And I have a bunch of the eBay supplied rigid mailers, 5x7. They're fantastic, the brown ones. So for something like, that's a little more money, I'd put them in that, obviously, and not do the. You can't use the standard envelope over what, $20? Yeah, there's a hazard. I used to worry about that, Steve, with the print ads, but it hasn't been a problem for me because I use the resealable ones for every ad which because you bought some from me. But I've never had a problem because luckily it's on the opposite side. Like, you know what I mean? Like the adhesive portion is opposite to where you would fill in the envelope. So there's really no risk of getting it stuck unless it somehow bends forward. I don't know if that's kind of something you have to see to understand. What about sealed vinyl? Do you worry about warping? Sealed vinyl? You mean like I just showed with the album? I'm not sure what you mean sealed vinyl. Use sleeve after scan. There's another one for sleeve after scan. Each card gets a sticker with a unique SKU. Cool, cool. Good stuff, Bob. I love everybody has really creative Matt Spacewell. Yeah, that's the one I just linked. Everybody has really creative methods. It's cool to hear about them all. Too expensive, huh? That was an eBay guy. I didn't see the link yet. I'll check it out on YouTube because I can't click here on StreamYard. Kelly posted it, right? Yankee Doodle. Cool. Yeah, that's the same ones I just bought. Thanks, Kelly. I'll save them too. Oh, great. And he's got the plastic, the top loaders and all that stuff too. Cool. Thank you very much for that. Did you just use the word cognizant, Dawn, right, on my show? You trying to raise the IQ of all involved? Without question, Jess. But who just said before about, I think Steven said he uses index cards. Absolutely. I have a stack of tons and tons of index cards. If anybody needs index cards, from years ago when my daughter was starting to become a nurse, and we bought thousands and thousands of index cards because she used to have to do this thing with, like, you put the name of a body part or whatever. So I have thousands of them, thousands. And that's what I was going to do, is just write A1 on an index card. Gets the job done. But, I had to be cool and get the plastic ones, the official postcard divider. But clearly you don't need that. Very true. Yeah, you don't have to be fancy sometimes. Nobody's going to grade you on the way this is for your own personal use. As long as you can find the card when it sells, it doesn't really matter how you got there, right? Just get the right card and don't lose them. eBay Canada. Oh, Canada. Yeah, everybody gets their own individual SKU. So you have to scan. All right. I think it's pretty much unanimous. Oh, I got you. Sealed isn't never opened. I thought you meant for the way I was shipping them. I'm sorry. Yeah, of course, a sealed. Do I worry about the record warping if it's sealed? I don't know who Carla Blay is either. Yeah, I mean, I only bought the 5 or whatever. I think I bought 5 packs or 10 packs. I don't remember. You polybag every item, no matter what it is. Nothing says flea market better than unprotected. That's what I'm saying, Tommy. I mean, again, I don't mean to rip on this guy specifically, but maybe it's a postcard thing. I don't know. But I try to exactly polybag any way you want to say it. I cover if something's susceptible to water damage, I cover it up. I put some sort of protective thing around, and it's not just postcards, anything I sell. Clothing, same thing. I wouldn't want something getting soaked. You know, certainly records, magazines, all the print ads I do. I agree. Yeah. You make logo stickers out of shipping labels, use the seal bag. Oh, that's cool. Same guy. There you go, Matt's Baseball. That's just the eBay page for his site. That's funny. Yeah. Who else? Anybody who collects or, you know, gets records from estate sales to resell. You're going to see a lot of Barbra Streisand. You're going to see a lot of the same guys. It's just hysterical. The type, the certain amount of artists that are just always at every estate sale. You're going to see the same albums over and over and over. They think, oh, wow, it's only 50 cents. I'll grab them all. There's a reason. Barbra Streisand is definitely one of those people. Cheesy Elvis records that people think, wow, it's an Elvis record, but there's so many bad knockoff Pickwick label Elvis records. Exactly. $228 hoodie last week, an illegal flat rate. Yes, that's just insane. Awful. And law of averages says, like, maybe you don't get burnt this time or the fifth time, but eventually, trust me, something's going to get ruined and soaked, and you as the business owner, you're going to take the hit. I mean, just how it, to me, it seems pretty basic, you know, protect stuff. Sorry. Or don't do this. Exactly. Well, Stephen, the cards were bubble wrapped, but they weren't like, how do I describe it? They were bubble wrapped. There was a layer or two of bubble wrap and they were thrown in a box. They weren't like sealed in any way, shape, or form. The sides of the cards were completely exposed and it's in a little cardboard box, you know, cardboard box, add water. Eventually it's going to seep through and ruin the contents within. So go that extra yard, folks. Cover up your stuff with some piece of plastic, you know, prevent tragedy. There you go. Everybody go buy a postcard from Bob. New Hampshire Goodies, who sells bulk lots on eBay. Every order I've gotten from him is rubber banded bundles of cost less in a box, maybe a shredded paper. Yeah, I know. That's what I'm saying. Not a lot of thought behind that. Very careless, very reckless. So that's not cool. Which is why when I got this little 500, my first 500 card lot that I picked up on eBay, Kelly was telling me, make sure you count them the day you get them. And I sat there and I counted them. It was billed as 500 plus, and there were 509. So I'm like, all right, I got the 500. Yeah, that's a whole other. I didn't even want to bring that up, Cameron. Like that was the first like 220. But regardless, I don't care if it's $5 or $500. The point is, he's right. You know, protect that thing. Would you be pretty mad if you ordered something like that? It came in a box with nothing around it. Come on, man. Rubber band, man. Starting to jam. Oh, that's nice. Good guy. That's right. They should be scanner ready for you. All right, maybe that's a little picky. But to the love of God, cover them up in some plastic. Being in delivery for 20 plus years, just because it's not raining when you deliver. Right? And that's when it gets to the point of delivery. What about the chain of going from truck to truck, from state to state? It's going to be exposed to the elements in multiple states. Just because it's not raining by you doesn't mean it didn't rain in Indiana at 3 a.m. when the shipment went from point A to B. You know what I mean? It's the whole process that has to be considered, not just it's not raining on your front step. Collect is collect. You mean to go rough them up? Amazon's the worst. They put a 2-inch item in 12. Yeah, I know. That's but maybe a Mercy piece of bubble, like one of those, not bubble wrap, but those big air bubble things that does nothing. Yeah, we've had similar experiences now and then. So yeah, I'll tell you the truth. I mean, I was just so excited to get the cards, and they were fine. But the point is, they could very easily have not been fine had they been wet. And I almost, for a brief shining moment when I was in that leave feedback screen, was tempted to make them. I wasn't going to leave negative or anything. I left them positive, and I said something like, arrived 4 days late, no fault of the seller, because it had nothing to do with the seller. It was just the post office. And I wrote thanks for the cards, and I was going to say something like, please be careful going forward to make sure that they're protected from the elements, something like that. But I'm like, forget about it. They'll wind up getting mad at me. And what if I want to go back to the well and pick up some more? So I don't want to badmouth them in front of, but I was tempted. I got to admit, I was tempted. Danica's traveling. That's why we haven't seen him. Okay. Traveling to where? Neptune? Love the estate sales. They're always available. Always Barbara Streisand ums. Exactly. Assume the worst. Yep. It's inevitable, especially, the further it travels, the more chance there is for something to go wrong. From wherever you bought it from. I picked up some records from the UK, and they're always shipped with great care. They have something called Royal Mail, for those who don't know, in the UK. And yes, it takes a long time, but they really know. I mean, the people I've purchased from, they've all been really, really meticulous about the way they ship this stuff. So we could all learn a little lesson from the fine Brits. They know how to ship. Yep. Bubble wrap, plastic. I wish. Bubble wrap in a paper box, cardboard box. Have a good day. Now, if you guys who have picked up lots like this a lot, have frequently purchased lots on eBay. The one that I picked up, it specified no, again, no offense to anybody who likes it, but it said no chromes, just linens and prior, right? So I'm like, that appealed to me because I like that era. I'm like, okay, cool. Is it sort of etiquette? Like you have to indicate if you're selling a lot, 500, 1,000, whatever the lot is. Like, should it say explicitly includes continentals or whatever? Because like, if I bought this 500 and it had 200 continentals, I would have been mad. Like, shouldn't you say that? Or is it kind of a buyer beware thing? You're buying a mixed lot, quote unquote, and you get what you get. I'm just curious what the thought process is there. All right, cool. Yeah, I just didn't want to ruffle feathers on my first purchase, Kelly. You know what I mean? Because I might want to go back. He was nice guy and everything. Wrote nice things and sent the little thank you note and all that stuff in the box. It's just it's really such a simple thing. I didn't really even care that much that they were bouncing around in a box necessarily. Like there was a lot of dead air in there, but put a protective bag around the card. That's all. I just don't want them to get wet. We lucked out on this one. Plus, it took, guess what? This, of course, the longer that, not only the distance, but the amount of days that it takes to get from wherever you bought from to your home, it's going to increase the odds of something like they were saying earlier about it dropped in a puddle or stepped on or whatever, right? The more days, the more chance for issues. And even more reason to make sure you try to protect it. I'm not saying I need like, a safe sent to me, but just a simple plastic bag around paper items, folks. Let's keep them dry. Bread bags. That would have worked. Cool. Right. So when you're out searching, you're on the hunt for a lot. You're looking. You're doing. If you don't want continentals, you want to make sure it doesn't say anything about continentals. That's what I'm saying. Like, because this one, in retrospect, that I picked up, it didn't say anything about no continentals. You know what I mean? It said no chromes. It said linens and prior, something like that, mixed lot. And I'm just thinking now, well, man, what if 300 of them were continentals? I would have been mighty mad. Agreed. It's like a cheap way out to just say mixed lot, right? In other words, tough luck. Whatever you get, you get. Not cool. Good approach there, Bob. Thank you. You should also never use styrofoam peanuts, which is unrelated to anything. But you sure? Because you're anti peanut. Believe it or not, you know what works really well? Newspaper. My mother-in-law she has a newspaper all the time, and she lets them build up, and then she gives me like a whole big bag every week or so. Really simple, basic way, but like glassware, all that kind of stuff works fantastic. Good old newspaper, crinkled up, place your fragile item, crinkle up some more newspaper, works super well. When you come down this way again, you probably have 75. All right, it's a date. Why do we hate styrofoam peanuts? Do you have a prejudice against styrofoam peanuts? Exactly. Mix a lot. It's just too, yeah, yeah, I don't like it either, Kelly. Well, there you go. Okay, that's cool. Not all chromes are continentals, but all continentals are chromes. Is that a correct statement? Yeah. Gotcha. So it's sort of synonymous, right? Ink cartridge in a Pop-Tarts. Pop-Tarts box. Use sewing patterns. Lining, you mean? That's a good idea too. Yeah, there's lots of ways. Newspaper, I'm telling you, so simple. It works really, really well. I have 2 file cabinets filled like this high with newspapers. I use them all the time. Believe it or not, even with records, like I'll use an example again. A lot of people probably have the same thing if you sell records. The eBay gives you the record size boxes, right? I'm trying to pull something. And let's just say you have a record. Of course, everything I pick has green, right? And, you know, tradition dictates. There's a few ways. I liked, if I was going to sell this record tomorrow, I would take the physical album out. I put it like that. I'd put it in a bag that we talked about earlier. And then before it lays in the box, which folds perfectly in this font, like 13 by 13 by 1 or so, or 2, I think you get it up to. Bubble wrap is preferable, sure, after you have it sealed so no water gets on it. But another really good way to protect them, believe it or not, is newspaper. Once you have the clear plastic, you don't have to worry about the ink getting on the album or anything, right? And you take a couple of sheets of newspaper, and it really gives a nice little layer of protection. And then you put it in your box, which is made of cardboard anyway. And it's a great way to protect anything like that. I use it all the time. And I've gotten many a comment thanking me for the way I ship. 78s too. Great way to protect 78s, which need lots of TLC when you're shipping them. Lots of TLC. I load up on I put like mounds of newspaper in there, and then I place the boxed 78 in that, and then I put mounds of newspaper on top of that. Great protective qualities in newspaper. Good night, Jeff. Have a good night. Thanks for coming in. I'd love to know. Yeah, exactly right. Trailers leak, exactly. Yep, that's what I'm saying. A lot can go wrong, right, in the process. Oh yeah, generic linen card. Cool. Number one, they're pretty much the least degradable thing you could possibly use. Gotcha. Yes. There you go. They stick to cats. Well, that's, yeah, see, there's the most valid of all the points. A plus, a fun way to spend the evening. Gotcha. You'd be happy to know I don't have any, Matt, so don't worry about me ever shipping with a peanut, but I didn't realize there were so many issues around peanuts. like newspaper. I can think of many uses for pets and newspaper, especially when they're babies. Yeah, I didn't realize again there were so many issues surrounding peanuts. So, note to self: I will never pick up any for all the aforementioned reasons. And when in doubt, use bubble wrap, newspaper, clear plastic bags to surround anything to keep it watertight as possible. Anyway, and away we go. You know, it's not rocket science. Corn ones, okay. I'm kind of aggravated we didn't get any cha-chings here during the show. I want to show everybody, be all proud and show off a postcard sale, but not yet. Maybe we'll get one. I have my brand new. I did sell a movie poster today, which was kind of cool. That's been listed for a while. It's going to Canada, wouldn't you know? For a horror film, a one-sheet music poster, one-sheet movie poster, excuse me, from the film Nightmares from '83. This one's a sleeper, it says. Sold for $25.99 plus shipping. Pretty cool. In fact, we talked about Brian earlier. I picked up a bunch of these. That's when I went up to the warehouse and visited him a year ago in January, like almost 2 years ago, when he was still up in the Allentown area. And he gave me a ton of these things. So it's good to see these sell because they were bought at $1 per. So good stuff. So 25 plus shipping. Love it. You like using saran wrap. Many people hate annoying to open. If it's too many layers of it, yeah. That's why they have scissors, though. You just go right down the middle. Listed up, I guess. Adventure School, Somerville, South Carolina. Okay. There you go. Thank you, Kelly, for the... There's a bolo for everybody. If you see a adventure school in Somerville, South Carolina, a town I've driven past, by the way, Pine Forest, and then you got yourself a bolo. Oh, yeah? That stinks. The ebbs and flows of reselling, huh? Every time you think you're on a roll, something like that happens. And every time you think you're stuck in the mud, you suddenly get like 5 sales in an hour and get you all pumped up. And we all try to figure it out endlessly. At least I do. But I will tell you who we were in the room. Was it? I don't know if it was. It might have been Matt Show. Somebody was talking about the fact that like we're all in search of these things. Bolos. Well, I'm just saying that's a little joke I have on my channel, Matt. Maybe you haven't seen it. Everybody kept coming up with these bolos, and I made that little graphic as kind of a sarcastic commentary. Mixed lot from Paperpalooza, sells it almost. Yeah, so much for the fourth quarter thing, huh, Kelly? Which you had said that your fourth quarter, quote unquote, numbers are really November to January, and again, I totally agree with that. January is really a good month for me. Usually, these last 5 or so years that I've been doing it full time. And you're gonna laugh, everybody, because every time we think, again, we always try to figure out these things, and whatchamacallit, March. The last 3 years in a row, my best month has been March. Why? No idea. I don't do anything different. Although the only thing I can think of potentially is that March in my area is like probably, at least with us, a state sale craziness. Because I think, it's winter. It's still winter really most of March, and it's still cold until almost May. But March is when spring fever hits and a lot of sales start taking place in estate sales. So maybe it's just that I haven't really correlated like how many listings I have in March versus other months. Maybe there's a connection there, but yeah, March has been my best sales month for like the last 3 years in a row. You've seen it? Oh, the graphic? Yeah, no problem. I never get to use these goofy things, so I thought it was funny. Sorry. No peanuts. Not to mention, did we put, how many bullet points did you have? 5? How about they're expensive? I mean, I swear to God, I don't use them and I've never bought them, but they're in my wife, we're always going to this, my wife we have a bakery business and we're always picking up supplies for the bakery. And we have this one store that does like exclusive wholesale type items. And in the back, I do get bubble wrap there because you can get these giant things of bubble wrap for like 10%, 20% of retail. But anyway, they have big bags. Like, I don't know what they weigh because I know they weigh nothing virtually, but these things are like the size of me, bag after bag. They're like $100 for a thing of packing peanuts. That just seems wasteful. So on add bullet point number 6, they're ridiculously expensive. If you didn't put that in, I don't remember. Your best month is January. Yeah, March has been my best month, but January is always a good month for us too. So hopefully the fourth quarter phenomenon will begin in November. But I'm psyched about my poster selling because that I've had up for a while. I mean, I visited him. What's 12 and like 20 months ago, and bought. I think it was 100 pieces, and I still have some up in my store that haven't sold. But now this one just sold. One sheet movie posters that I picked up on one of his the YouTube auctions, and then he invited me up to check out the place, so I went up, took a ride. It was really cool. Spent like an afternoon with him. Yeah, I get it. But did we mention they're expensive on top of it? Everybody has their thing. It's funny. Obviously, we've triggered Jackass Retro. He hit a soft spot here, which I totally understand. I'm not making fun of it. I'm just saying everybody has that thing that makes them go berserk. Like, no styrofoam nuts. We need to eliminate the demand. People stop making them. Just like bugs. This is true. This is true. It's like me with getting paper that doesn't have wrapping around it. Like, what's the thought process there? I want to strangle this guy. Like, what are you doing putting my 500 postcards in a box with nothing on them? You crazy? I'm gonna drive myself to Indiana. I'm telling you. What is K1? Does anybody know what K1 is? Am I just misreading this? I don't know what K1 is. Gas? what kerosene or something? I don't know what K1 is. So if we've learned nothing else tonight, it's the fact that we need to eradicate styrofoam peanuts from the face of the planet, and promptly. We've also learned that despite listing, well, you know what? I only listed like, what did I say? 20, 25 cards maybe today. I'm going to get back on the horse after the show. I'll probably list some more tonight. I haven't sold a one yet today. That's disappointing. I haven't sold a postcard today, folks. That's not good. You start getting used to selling them. It's funny, like anything else, right? If you start getting accustomed to it. Whereas like a week ago, if I sold a postcard, I'd be doing backflips. Now I'm like, suddenly you expect to sell them. Kerosene. Okay, cool. Gotcha. Oh, okay. Yeah, we have good old gas heat. I don't even know if kerosene's an option. They have oil heat. Some of the older homes have oil heat. You need to. Who needs to what? Drive and rough them up. Because I'm tempted. Didn't want to ruffle feathers. First purchase. Everything was fine. other than it was 4 days late and thrown in a box. Electric heat. There you go. We are, Tommy, aren't we going to play in Delaware again? I think I'm playing in Delaware again. Relatively in November. We just got a show. Oh, but I must say, speaking of Delaware, we got canceled in, we were supposed to play Bethany Beach on October 1st, but that was, of course, the hurricane came and went. And that's, completely understandable, obviously. But what makes me really mad, first of all, what are you doing booking a show on Bethany Beach outdoors on October 1st? That was strike one. Strike two is it was rained out because of the hurricane, but we didn't get rebooked. Like we're going to get rebooked, but it's not going to be till next year. That just stinks. Not cool at all. I have a couple of shows in Jersey again coming up. Always good to refer to the schedule and see what's coming up. Moving that nice. Electric heat is expensive here. Electric can double so far around the baseball because we usually months. Not even going to get into the topic, but our utility bill is $600 a month, which is gas and electric. And this time of year, it's 99.9% electric until the heat goes on, and then we'll switch from, the gas goes up, electric goes down. And I got into a huge argument today with the electric company because apparently I learned more than I ever cared to know about electric companies and their processes. But long story short, your electric supplier can change without you authorizing it. Energy provider. So some company, I won't name them even though I'm tempted to, apparently weaseled their way into our world and took over our Pico is the electric company. They took over our supply needs without us knowing or signing up for it. And it's double the kilowatt hour rate of Pico. So no exaggeration, $603 was the last bill. $593 was the bill before that. And we're like, why is this bill going so high? It's 3 people in the house. My wife has a job in a funeral home that has like a 6,000 square foot funeral home with 4 stories, and they run ovens to cremate people, and their bill is like $700 a month. I'm like, how could this possibly be? So I was on the phone for like an hour and a half today when I should have been listing postcards, battling it out with the electric company. But at least I'm not postcards correct. Oh, man. God bless you. Everything's up, though. Sure. All right, guys, I'm going to wrap it up. It's 9:30. I want to list some more postcards. So I will be back on Friday night. We'll do a listing show. Maybe we'll get some postcards involved into the mix. And other than that, there's really not much else going on this week. I don't have a whatnot schedule for this week because I'm trying to get some stuff in order on the postcard front and some other things that we're trying to sell. So I will see everybody on Friday night with the live listing show. Do check out Popeye if you're interested in postcards. Tomorrow night, he always does a Tuesday night whatnot. Again, coming up next month on the 12th of November is Ephemera 3, which I'm taking part in. I'm excited to be part of that. 9 o'clock Eastern. Preceded by a bunch of really cool resellers, finishing off of Popeye. And that's about it. So I will see everybody on Friday night. Hope you have a great week. Hope you had a good time tonight. Please, if you haven't hit that thumbs up and you have a chance on your way out the door, I'd appreciate it. But it's great to see everybody and talk with everybody. I will see you on Friday. Take it easy, everybody.